Deep within the land of fire stood a hidden village, one known across the world for its power and deadly shinobi. Within its walls lived legends. Hiruzen Sarutobi, the professor, hailed as the god of shinobi. Kakashi Hatake, the copy ninja. And Might Guy, the eccentric warrior nicknamed the Green Beast of Konoha. The list went on, from clans with ancient bloodlines to warriors whose names carried weight in every corner of the continent. Together, they made this place home. But this isn't their tale. This is mine. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. Around here, people call me Konoha's #1 knucklehead. But I've got another name, one that people whisper with half disbelief, half awe. I'm the One-Punch Ninja. And this is my story. Nighttime in Konoha. A small boy with messy blonde hair sprinted down the crowded streets. He was 5 years old, Naruto Uzumaki, and tonight the whole village was alive with noise. Lanterns lit up every corner, fireworks burst above, and families gathered to honor two things: the death of the Nine Tails and the sacrifice of their fourth Hokage. Even though Hiruzen had taken the Hokage's hat again, the sorrow never really faded. Naruto didn't share in the joy or grief. He was just another orphan left behind after the Kyuubi's attack. The old Hokage did what he could for him, but it wasn't the same as having a family. To the villagers, he was cursed. Something to avoid, something to hate. So in return, Naruto played tricks, dumping paint, setting off firecrackers, anything to get noticed. But all it ever did was make the glares colder and the distance wider. Which is why he was currently running for his life. "Get back here, you little brat," one man shouted, his clothes stained a blinding orange from Naruto's latest prank. "Ha, not a chance, old man. You'll never catch me," Naruto yelled back, laughter spilling from him as he dodged through the crowd. He nearly bowled over a passerby. "Sorry, lady," he called to a purple-haired woman with a dango stick. "Watch it, runt," she snapped. That woman was Anko Mitarashi, and just as she bit into her dango, the mob shoved past her, smacking it clean out of her hand. The world seemed to stop for Anko as the skewer fell. Her expression darkened. Then her eyes blazed with fury. "You idiots," she growled. "You made me drop MYDANGO?" Her rage exploded, and in seconds she was on the mob. As a skilled chunin, she had no trouble thrashing half of them into the dirt. For 30 whole minutes, she lectured the poor fools on the sacred beauty of dango, declaring it the food of the gods. Somewhere in the distance, a voice shouted that ramen was the true food of gods. She ignored it. Thanks to Anko's rampage, Naruto managed to slip away unnoticed. Ducking into an alleyway he knew by heart, he darted toward the orphanage. Life as a street rat, as the villagers called him, had at least taught him the back routes. It was the only reason he could pull off half his escapes. As he came out of the alley, he spotted two shinobi walking down an otherwise empty street. One had spiky silver hair, his face buried in a small orange book. The other had a shiny bowl cut, massive eyebrows, and an offensively tight green jumpsuit. Naruto tried hard not to stare at that last part. "Huh, the festival's the other way. Where are they going?" he muttered loudly to himself. "Guess I'll follow." The silver-haired one flicked a page. "He knows we can hear him, right? The spirit of youth burns brightly in this boy, Kakashi. What's the harm in letting him tag along?" The green one boomed. Kakashi sighed. "None at all. Blast you, Kakashi, with your calm coolness. Did you say something, guy? Arg, this time I'll definitely defeat you. If you say so." Their argument carried on until they reached an abandoned training ground. "Same as always?" Kakashi asked, slipping his book into his pouch. Guy unstrapped his weighted vest and bands. "Actually, how about we put on a show for our little follower tonight?" Kakashi raised an eyebrow. "A spar, exactly." Kakashi adjusted his headband while Guy stretched. They waited for a leaf to hit the ground. When it did, now, both vanished in a blur. The moment they clashed, the air thundered. Naruto's jaw dropped. He couldn't follow their movements, only the flashes when they reappeared for a split second. Boom, fists collided. Crash, kicks carved new craters in the earth. Trees trembled with every strike. "Whoa," Naruto breathed. He'd never seen anything like it. The academy spars he'd spied on were nothing compared to this. This was raw power, the kind he dreamed of having one day. Power that would make people respect him. Power that would make him impossible to ignore. One day, he promised himself he'd be that strong. Strong enough to win every battle with a single punch. "Enjoying the view?" a voice asked behind him. Naruto jumped and faceplanted into the dirt. You're a loud one, Kakashi remarked, poking at his ear. But you're fighting him over there, Naruto shouted. And I'm also here, Kakashi replied casually. Your point. That's amazing, you gotta teach me. Please, Naruto begged, stars in his eyes. Kakashi tilted his head. Aren't you a little young to be learning jutsu? What are you, 3? I'm 5, today's my birthday. Oh. Happy birthday, then. Kakashi went back to his book, but he paused when the boy suddenly went quiet. Naruto stood there, clutching his shirt, smiling faintly. What? You told me happy birthday, Naruto whispered. Kakashi raised a brow. And don't tell me no one's ever said that to you before. Just Jiji. The realization hit Kakashi hard. I see, I'm sorry, kid. But Naruto's grin only grew. It's okay. 'Cause one day I'll be the strongest ninja in the world, then no one will ever forget me again. Kakashi's chest tightened. Is that all you want? Power for its own sake? Naruto frowned, thinking. Then he shook his head. No. I want to protect people too. The ones that matter to me. I never knew my parents, but I've got others now. Oh, like who? There's old man Ikaraku and Iame, and that girl with the pretty eyes, he added, blushing a little. Kakashi chuckled. Sounds like you've got plenty to protect. You'd better get strong then. I will. Next month I start the academy. I'll train harder than anyone until I'm the strongest there is. A noble dream, my young friend, boomed Guy suddenly from behind him. Naruto toppled over again. Will you stop doing that? My apologies, I was simply overcome by the flames of your youth, Guy declared proudly. How about I give you advice to aid your journey? Naruto's eyes widened. Really? Are you gonna show me a super powerful jutsu? Nope, Guy said cheerfully. Naruto faceplanted once more. He forget it. He turned to storm off, but Kakashi's voice stopped him. Is your resolve really so weak? Naruto spun. It's not weak. Then why walk away? Kakashi asked. When Konoha's greatest taijutsu expert is offering to teach you something, Naruto blinked. Wait, bushy brows was really that good? Slowly, he walked back, determination shining in his eyes. All right, I'll take in whatever you have to show me, Naruto said with a determined grin. Splendid. Come along then. Guy boomed with his usual fire. Without wasting time, he grabbed Naruto by the arm and marched him back toward the heart of the ruined training field, still scarred with craters. My youthful student, I'm going to teach you the path to real strength. This will prepare you for your coming years at the academy. Are you ready for this trial? Yes, sir, Naruto shouted eagerly. Neither of them noticed Kakashi quietly slip away. Both were far too focused on the lesson unfolding. From that night until dawn, Guy pushed Naruto through endless drills, push-ups, sit-ups, squats, and laps around the training ground. Each time Guy expected him to collapse for good, Naruto would bounce back up after only a short breather, itching to continue. By the time the sun rose, Guy finally ended the session, offering one last piece of wisdom. Listen well, my youthful comrade. Keep up these exercises every chance you get. Increase the numbers as you grow, but don't overdo it. You don't want to cripple yourself. No way, Guy-sensei, Naruto replied, full of spirit. Excellent. I'll be seeing you again, my young warrior. Now I must deliver my report to the Hokage. Farewell, Guy cried before vanishing in a swirl of leaves. That was awesome, Naruto said, his eyes sparkling. He stood in awe for a moment before throwing himself into yet another round of training. One set became 2, then 3, then countless more. It wasn't until exhaustion hit him like a wall that Naruto stumbled back to his small apartment to collapse into bed. The very next morning, he jumped right back into his routine, not without some silent grumbling from the red-furred tenant inside him. And so it continued, every single day. No matter how much his muscles screamed, no matter how badly his body ached, Naruto pushed himself. He never broke the promise he had silently made to follow Guy's advice. Even when the pain left him barely able to move, even when his skin blistered and his hands bled, Naruto refused to quit. His willpower burned brighter than the torment of his body. Years began to pass this way. The first year, no visible results. The second, no big changes either. So Naruto simply doubled his effort, adding more reps and longer runs. It wasn't until the third year that he started to feel it, raw strength building inside him. He didn't have a way to measure it yet, but he could sense his body becoming sharper, faster, stronger. By the fourth year, he finally had proof. One day in class, Uruka-sensei stood before the children. "All right, everyone, today we're beginning sparring practice," Uruka announced, scanning the room. "Don't worry if you don't know much yet. This is just to get you familiar with combat. From next week onward, we'll teach you the Academy's taijutsu style." That reassurance was mostly for the civilian kids. Many of the others, clan heirs and prodigies, had been drilled in combat from an early age. They had techniques, stances, even chakra training under their belts. Compared to them, Naruto looked like the weakest of the bunch, hiding behind jokes and pranks. None of them knew the truth about his nightly training. Well, except for one timid heiress with pale eyes who quietly watched him. When the matchups were announced, pity filled the room as Naruto was paired with none other than the pride of the class, Sasuke Uchiha. "Ready to lose, dead last?" Sasuke taunted, slipping into the Uchiha stance with a smirk. Naruto wasn't fazed. He was too excited to finally test his strength. "Begin!" Uruka called out. Sasuke darted forward immediately. Naruto didn't budge, he just waited. The dobi froze up. One student jeered, making the class laugh. "Why, you can do it, Naruto," Hinata whispered under her breath, too shy for anyone to hear. Sasuke lunged, leading with a sharp kick aimed at Naruto's chest. Smack! His leg stopped midair, caught in Naruto's palm. "So slow," Naruto muttered. With a swift swing of his arm, he hurled Sasuke aside like a ragdoll. Sasuke sailed out of the ring, slammed into the ground, and rolled into unconsciousness after his head struck the dirt. The classroom fell silent. Naruto casually stepped out of the ring. "Gee, good job, Naruto," Uruka finally managed, still shocked. "Hee, thanks, Uruka-sensei," Naruto replied with a grin. Class was dismissed soon after, Uruka personally carrying Sasuke to the infirmary. That night, Naruto repeated his routine without pause, training until he collapsed, then doing it all over again. From then on, sparring became a joke. Every fight ended in a single blow from Naruto. His classmates seemed weaker by comparison, though in reality, it was Naruto's relentless discipline that widened the gap. By the age of 10, he wasn't allowed to spar anymore. His strength crushed morale too quickly. Instead, while his classmates fought each other, Naruto trained on the side. His new routine: 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 sit-ups, 1,000 squats, and a 10-mile warm-up run. The real run of 50 miles came after class. The other kids gawked at his workouts, baffled that the class clown could push himself so hard. Even Sasuke once tried to match him, only to collapse halfway through, unable to move for the rest of the day. 3 more years passed in this rhythm, until the academy exams finally arrived. That morning, Naruto showed up early in his usual orange and blue jumpsuit, aiming for a front row seat. He wanted to be among the first tested. Confident in most parts of the exam, he still dreaded the clone jutsu. And he prayed he wouldn't accidentally break any walls during shuriken practice this time. Not his fault the kunai were so sharp, or the academy walls so fragile. Making his way down the hall, Naruto suddenly heard raised voices. "But Hokage-sama, this can't be serious," Uruka protested. "It is, Uruka," came the calm voice of the third Hokage. "It's time to change how things are done." Naruto crept closer and pressed his ear to the wall. "But these new trials are unreasonable. We haven't even covered this material. The civilian kids will fail," Uruka argued. "And does that mean your students are not ready for reality?" Hiruzen asked pointedly. Uruka faltered. After a sigh, he conceded. "I understand, Hokage-sama. We'll prepare the trials." Naruto scrambled away as Uruka and Mizuki walked out. He pressed himself against the ceiling tiles to stay hidden until they passed. "Hugh, close call," Naruto whispered once they were gone. "I expected nothing less. You always find a way to eavesdrop, Naruto," Hiruzen said from inside. Naruto sheepishly rubbed the back of his head. He, never could fool you, Jiji." The Hokage chuckled. "You're improving, Naruto. I've just got a few more years of practice on you." "More like centuries. Ow, that hurt." Naruto yelped when Sarutobi flicked him with his pipe. "Don't lie. We both know you didn't even feel that," the old man said with a knowing smile. "You caught me there, Jiji, haha. So, how many sets are you up to now?" 10,000 of each, plus a 50-mile sprint around the village." Hiruzen blinked at the sheer number. He knew Naruto trained often, but he didn't expect the scale to be this intense. "Isn't that a little excessive?" "Not really. I don't even get sore anymore. I was thinking about doubling it soon, Naruto answered with a grin. I see, Hiruzen muttered, shaking his head slightly. So what was that about earlier? Naruto asked curiously. You know I can't tell you that, Naruto. Come on, Jiji. At least give me a hint, Naruto begged. No, Naruto, you'll find out in due time just like everyone else. Figures, Naruto sighed. Now off you go. I've got some things to finish before your exam begins. You'll be there, right? Chuckles, yes, I'll be there. Make sure you give it your all, okay? I will, Jiji, Naruto said, sprinting out of the room with excitement. The old Hawkage leaned back with a tired sigh. You've grown up so quickly, Naruto. Did I truly do enough for you? He whispered to the empty room. You did what you could, Hawkage-sama. Hiruzen turned to see Kakashi standing by. On time, Kakashi, that's rare. Shadow clone Hawkage-sama. Sai, of course, are you prepared for today's test? Yes, sir, training ground 7 is ready just as you asked. Good. And Kakashi, if you're late for this trial, I'll personally demote you to Genin and assign you nothing but Tora-catching missions. Yes, Hawkage-sama. Dismissed. The clone dispersed in a puff of smoke, leaving the Hawkage alone once more. He exhaled slowly. It's going to be quite an interesting day, he murmured as he headed to his office. Meanwhile, Naruto had arrived at the classroom. To his surprise, he wasn't the first one there. Sasuke was already seated, as were Hinata Hyuga, Kiba with Akamaru, Shikamaru, Choji, and Shino. Most of the clan heirs were present. The only missing one was Ino, though Naruto suspected she was probably with Sakura. I hope she doesn't sit next to me again, Naruto muttered to himself. I can't handle fangirls. And it was true. Ino and Sakura weren't entirely useless, but whenever Sasuke was involved, all common sense left their heads. Whenever they sat near Naruto, all he heard was, Naruto's weaker than Sasuke. Even though Sasuke never beat him in a fight, Naruto's dumber than Sasuke. Which, fair enough, but still annoying. Naruto will never be as good as Sasuke. They said it so often, it was like they thought it'd magically become true. Meanwhile, Sasuke constantly insulted them, yet they clung to his tragic story and last Uchiha status like it made him some kind of legendary hero. Didn't change the fact that he was a jerk. Naruto plopped down in the front row, as far from Sasuke as possible, and rested his head on the desk. Maybe he could sneak in a quick nap before things kicked off. That was when Uruka and Mizuki entered. Good morning, class, Uruka called out. Good morning, Uruka-sensei, the students replied, some with more energy than others. Naruto, wake up! Thunk, a piece of chalk smacked him in the head. Ow, oh hey, Uruka-sensei. Glad you could finally join us, Uruka said dryly. Hee, sorry, sensei, Naruto muttered sheepishly. Well, now that everyone is awake, Shikamaru's still sleeping, Sakura pointed out. Uruka just rubbed his temples. As I was saying, let's begin. He stood at the front of the class, his tone firm but proud. Today is the day of your graduation exam, the day you step away from the academy and move forward as true shinobi. Take a moment to be proud of yourselves, come a long way. The class clapped, a few with genuine smiles. Normally, Uruka continued, the exam would consist of 4 parts. Written knowledge, weapon accuracy, sparring, and jutsu performance. Hey sensei, let's just get on with it. Right, Akamaru? Bark, Kiba blurted. Uruka gave him a sharp glare. As I was saying, before I was interrupted, that is the usual way. However, Hawkage-sama has decided things will be different this year. The students murmured in curiosity. And no, I don't know the full details. What I do know is that we start with Konoha's history test. Mizuki, please pass them out. Groans filled the room. An hour later, you've all done well, Uruka said, bowing. Good luck with the rest of the exam. He and Mizuki stepped out. Moments later, a tall man with black hair and a cigarette strolled in. Morning, everyone. I'm Asuma Sarutobi, a Jonin. I'll be giving you your first trial of the day. Follow me. The class hurried after him, curiosity buzzing in the air. At the target range, they were surprised to see it transformed into a full obstacle course. This will be your first challenge, Asuma said. An obstacle course, sensei? Ino asked. Correct, here's how it works. You start at that line, scale the wall, and collect the weapons provided. You'll hit the targets while navigating the traps and staying on the red-marked path. Step off the path, miss too many targets, or run out of time, you fail. The students stiffened. There are 4 total trials. You must pass at least 3 to qualify as ninja. Questions? What if we fail? one student asked. You're expelled from the program, Asuma replied bluntly. The group fell silent. You have 10 minutes to finish the 1,000-foot course. But the range is only 200 feet long, Sakura exclaimed. Asuma smirked. Good observation. You'll be running the course 5 times. Each run gives you new weapons and new targets. Aim for vital points or it counts as a miss. Sakura gulped nervously but stepped up first. The sounds that came from inside the walls, explosions, screams, crashes, made everyone shiver. She staggered out minutes later, clothes torn and hair scorched, but she had survived. Well done, you passed your first run. Rest or continue? Rest, please, she panted. Ino Yamanaka, you're next. I don't feel well, she tried. Too bad, step up, Kiba, you're after her. By the end, 30 students had been cut down to just 20. Many of the civilian-born quit on the spot. Only the clan heirs and 11 others remained. As expected, Sasuke Uchiha, your time was the best 2 minutes, 14 seconds, Asuma announced. The fangirls erupted in cheers. Chen. Beat that, Dobi, Sasuke smirked at Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki, you're up, Asuma called. Yes, sir. Before Asuma could even finish, Naruto bolted over the wall. Weapons in hand, he weaved through the obstacles with blinding speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gong, his first run time, 15 seconds. The crowd froze. Then his second run, 12 seconds. Third, 9 seconds. Fourth, 5 seconds. And his final run, just 3 seconds. Not only did he hit every target, the kunai and shuriken tore through them, pierced the walls, and even embedded themselves into trees far beyond the course. The entire class, including Asuma, could only stare in stunned silence. Needless to say, Naruto cleared the first stage with flying colors. Well, I'll admit, I didn't see that one coming, Asuma muttered, still stunned. His cigarette had fallen from his lips in the middle of the spectacle and now lay forgotten on the floor. The rest of the class wasn't any better. Every single one of them was frozen, still trying to wrap their heads around what just happened. All right then, Asuma finally recovered. Let's move on to the next test. Everyone head to the sparring hall. Good effort, all of you. The group shuffled their way over, only to be greeted by an overly enthusiastic voice. Bushy brows, Naruto cheered out. Oh, my youthful companion. Guy beamed, striking his iconic thumbs-up pose. I did those training drills you showed me. Naruto grinned proudly. Splendid. You burn brightly with the flames of youth, my friend. Perhaps one day you'll join me and my student in our journey to embrace the springtime of youth. Naruto's eyes lit up. Wait, really? That would be amazing. Of course. But for now, we must focus on your trials. Right, almost forgot about that. Meanwhile, Naruto's classmates stared at the bizarre interaction like they'd stumbled into an alternate reality. How the hell does the dead last know a Jonin? Sasuke's thoughts soured instantly. Sakura gagged inwardly. Oh my god, those eyebrows, that haircut, that hideous outfit. Ugh. I need brain bleach. Choji, of course, was on another wavelength entirely. I wonder if the cafeteria has barbecue chips left. Might Guy stepped forward dramatically. Greetings, my youthful comrades. Today, you will demonstrate your fighting spirit in a sparring tournament. Come forward, brave volunteers, and let your flames clash to see whose burns brightest. I challenge the Dobi, Sasuke snapped, glaring daggers at Naruto. Guy tilted his head. This Dobi you mention, is that another classmate? Naruto raised his hand sheepishly. He means me, Guy-sensei. Ah, Naruto, excellent. Step into the ring. The two boys took their places. The rules are simple, Guy explained. Win 3 matches and you pass. Lose 3 and you're out of the program entirely. Any questions? Shino raised his hand. Are there restrictions during combat? A very wise inquiry, my mysterious young friend. No killing strikes, no life-threatening injuries. Victory is decided when one fighter can't continue or leaves the ring. Anything else? Why did you call me mysterious? Shino asked flatly. Do not take it personally, my enigmatic friend. Your father unsettles me as well. I see. Enough talk, Sasuke shouted, launching forward only to freeze when he realized Naruto was gone. Tap, Naruto had already moved. In a blink, he appeared in front of Sasuke and gently shoved his chest. But gentle, at that speed, was more like being rammed by a battering ram. Sasuke flew backward, skidding across the ground before crashing into a tree and collapsing. Out cold, Naruto, now standing where Sasuke had been, turned back to the stunned class. So, anyone else? Collective silence. Heads shake violently. Most unyouthful behavior, Guy scolded. Still, well done, Naruto. Naruto shrugged. It's fine, not like I've had a decent fight in this class ever. Guy's grin widened. Then join me and my student for training after these exams are complete. Naruto blinked. Wait, you were serious. Of course, you are always welcome to train with us, Guy declared, sparkling in his nice guy pose. Thanks, Guy-sensei, Naruto cheered, hopping off the stage to let the next match start. Shikamaru Nara and Kiba Inuzuka stepped forward. The rest of the students sparred in turn. By the end, 20 candidates had been whittled down to 15. Sasuke, who eventually came to, demanded a rematch with Naruto. Guy denied him, explaining Naruto had already passed, which only fueled Sasuke's rage. He ended up venting it on civilian students, still managing to pass regardless. That concludes today's testing, Guy announced. Your next trial will begin tomorrow. Until then, rest well, my youthful comrades. Farewell. With a burst of speed, he was gone. The class dispersed, though Naruto headed straight for more training while everyone else went home to sleep. Hokage's office, Hiruzen sat with Asuma and Guy, reviewing the day's performances. The conversation naturally drifted to one name. So, Asuma, Guy, what's your impression of Naruto Uzumaki? Hiruzen asked, pipe in hand. The two Jonin exchanged a look. It was Asuma who finally spoke. That kid's a monster. Oh, Hiruzen raised a brow. Explain. He finished the entire obstacle course in 44 seconds, Hokage-sama. Impressive, yes, but not unheard of. What about his total time? That was his total time. Hiruzen choked, nearly swallowing his pipe. After a fit of coughing, he stared wide-eyed. Are you absolutely certain? Yes, Hokage-sama, Asuma confirmed grimly. Turning to Guy, Hiruzen pressed, and his sparring. I only caught a glimpse of his burning flames of youth, Guy admitted enthusiastically. But in truth, Naruto only fought once. The other children refused to face him. Hiruzen massaged his temples. I see, you're both dismissed. The two Jonin saluted and left. Alone, the Hokage muttered to himself, I'm beginning to think pairing him with other children might be problematic. The next morning the class gathered again. Excitement buzzed in the room, though not everyone shared the same energy. Ino, I don't think I can do this anymore, Sakura whispered nervously. I almost failed the first 2 trials. If I had gone against a clan kid, I'd already be out. Don't be ridiculous, forehead, Ino replied with a smirk. You're still ahead of the other civilians, just hang in there and you'll get your headband. But Sasuke is mine, so don't even think about it. Naruto, overhearing, snorted. What's so funny, idiot? Ino snapped. What happened? Sakura asked, curious. He thinks it's funny I said Sasuke's mine, Ino fumed. Sakura folded her arms. That's because Sasuke is mine, Ino pig. The two immediately broke into their usual bickering. Naruto tuned them out. Why can't they get it? Sasuke doesn't care about them or any girl. Honestly, the only person he ever pays attention to is me. Wait, is he? No, creepy thought. He glanced left and shivered. Sasuke was staring right at him. So was Hinata, but Naruto didn't notice. Stop staring at me. If you've got something to say, just say it. At that moment, Hinata sneezed softly. Hey, Hinata, are you feeling sick? Naruto leaned toward her, genuinely worried. Her face went scarlet. She quickly buried her head in her arms to hide it. Hinata, you okay? Naruto crouched beside her desk. Hinata-chan, her heart nearly burst at the honorific. She was too stunned to answer, her mind spiraling into a tomato-red haze. Naruto poked her arm gently. Come on, Hinata-chan, don't scare me like that, she squeaked, convinced he was about to kiss her. Just then, the door slid open, and a woman with long black hair and sharp red eyes entered. Attention, everyone, she called out, commanding instant silence. I am Kurenai Yuhai, your examiner for the 3rd trial. Follow me to the gymnasium. The class stood to leave. Naruto, thinking Hinata had fainted, scooped her up in his arms. She didn't move a muscle, why would she? Inside the gym, they saw several sealed-off rooms had been constructed. Kurenai-sensei, what are those for? Sakura asked. You'll find out shortly. Wait until everyone's here, Kurenai replied. A few minutes later, another door opened. Thank you, Kurenai, for bringing them. Yes, Hokage-sama. The 3rd Hokage himself had come to oversee their trial. The class reacted in their own ways. HNN. He must be here to gauge my strength before my true mission, to kill my brother, Sasuke brooded. I'm starving, Choji thought. It's obviously because Sasuke-kun is here. Sakura squealed inwardly. Jiji. He's not still mad about the paint bomb this morning, right? Naruto winced as the Hokage shot him a glare. Still mad, Hiruzen muttered under his breath. Blonde menace. Nothing, Kurenai. Good morning, class. Good morning, Hokage-sama, the children chorused. Today marks the beginning of your final evaluations before you are granted your ninja headbands. Is that what those rooms are for, Hokage-sama? A curious voice asked. Indeed they are, and your name is? Haruno. Sakura Haruno, she answered politely. Ah yes, Mebuki and Kazashi's daughter. Correct. Each of these rooms contains equipment designed to test a different part of your abilities. Kurenai, would you elaborate? Yes, Hokage-sama. These chambers contain specialized devices that measure different aspects of your body and skills. The purpose is to determine where you excel and where you may need improvement. Wait, does that mean we can skip being genin? Kiba blurted out, voicing what half the class was already wondering. Kurenai shook her head firmly. No, every shinobi, no matter their strength, must progress through the ranks in order. These machines only help us understand your potential. However, to pass, you must reach at least genin-level performance in 3 out of the 4 rooms. The classroom let out a collective groan. Now, don't complain. Treat it like a contest, see who can outscore the others, Hiruzen said with a faint smile. In that case, the rest of you may as well give up now. It's obvious who'll come out on top, came the smug voice of Sasuke. Shino spoke up calmly. We won't know until the results come in, Uchiha. I'll go first, Kiba barked, running toward the nearest chamber. The other students moved to follow, but Kurenai's sharp tone stopped them. One at a time, line up and wait your turn. Each of you will enter, whether you like it or not. Her last words were quiet, but they sent an unsettling shiver through the class. Minutes later, Kiba stumbled out of the first chamber, looking like he'd run a marathon. Proceed to the next room, Mr. Inuzuka. No talking, Kurenai instructed coolly. Kiba whimpered but obeyed. One by one, students went in and out until only Naruto remained. Your turn, Naruto. Yes, Jiji, the boy shouted cheerfully. He had been waiting for this moment all morning. With excitement bubbling, he pushed through the curtain of the first room. Inside, a bulky machine stood with a screen glowing faintly. Beside it was a smaller device with an arm-sized opening. Insert your arm, Naruto. This device will measure the total amount and density of your chakra. Kurenai's voice echoed through the intercom. Got it, Kurenai-sensei. Naruto rolled up his sleeve and slid his arm in. Immediately, he felt his energy being pulled away. Don't worry if it drains you close to empty. The machine will stop before you pass out. Can it hurry up? It feels like it's only taking the amount I'd use for a clone jutsu. There was silence. What did you say? I normally use way more chakra than this to make clones. Kurenai froze. Her eyes widened at the readings on her monitor. The machine had already extracted more chakra than most Chunin had in total, and it was still climbing. Hokage-sama, you need to see this, she called. Hiruzen appeared by her side. What's the matter? She pointed at the screen. Look. The number spiked rapidly past Tokubetsu Jonin reserves, pushing further and further upward. So, that explains his struggles with the clone jutsu, Hiruzen muttered under his breath. Sir, he's never been able to perform a proper clone. His chakra volume is simply too immense for it. Watch, the reading is about to pass cage level. The digits kept soaring until they landed in the S-class range. My word, Kurenai whispered. This isn't because of that. This is all Naruto, Hiruzen said with quiet pride. The counter finally froze at 500,000 chakra points, with a density 10 times greater than his own. And he doesn't even look fatigued, Kurenai whispered. That's because the machine maxes out there. His true reserves may be even greater, Hiruzen replied calmly. He grabbed the microphone. Well done, Naruto. Move on to the next chamber. Yes, Jiji. And remember, this stays between us, the old man warned. Understood, Hokage-sama, Naruto chirped before heading into the second room. This chamber had panels lining both sides of the wall. Naruto, this test measures reflexes. If you're struck 10 times, you fail. Ready? 3, 2, 1, start. Holes opened along the walls and launched a storm of red paint-filled spheres. Naruto stood still until the very last moment, then blurred his right arm at lightning speed, swatting each ball aside while barely moving anything else. His eyes tracked each projectile with perfect clarity. 5 minutes later, the machine fell silent, its ammunition exhausted. A heap of paint balls rolled at Naruto's feet, every one of them caught and dropped by hand. Kurenai's jaw fell. That's amazing, Hiruzen finished for her. But how? Even most Jonin would struggle with that level of precision. He hasn't even made genin yet, she whispered. Naruto has trained his body relentlessly since childhood. This surprises me less than his chakra reserves, the Hokage said calmly. Excellent work, Naruto. Move on. The next chamber contained a vest on a table. What's this, Jiji? Naruto asked. It's weighted with gravity seals. It will test your endurance and strength. Sounds fun. Naruto slipped it on without hesitation. Activate it gradually, Hiruzen ordered. Kurenai formed the ram seal. The weight on Naruto's body began increasing rapidly, yet he didn't even flinch. Are the seals on? Naruto asked casually. Kurenai stared at the monitor. Yes, Hokage-sama, his weight is rising by 10 pounds a second. The screen showed Naruto's weight ballooning, already 1,000 pounds heavier than before. The numbers soared until finally, at over 10,000 pounds, Hiruzen ended the test. Naruto still seemed oblivious. He was sent into the final room, where a reinforced striking pad was mounted to the ground. This machine measures raw power. Strike it with everything you've got, Hiruzen instructed. Really? I can go all out, Naruto's eyes shone. Yes, this device is also used by Guy for training, Hiruzen assured him. All right. Naruto shifted into a stance, energy buzzing around him. Serious punch. The result defied belief. The air detonated with the force of his swing. His fist scorched ozone into existence, evaporated moisture in the air, and when it collided, pad, beam, and wall disintegrated into ash. The blast tore through the training hall, obliterated 200 feet of surrounding forest, and left the ground scarred with a massive crater. Kurenai covered her mouth. Oh my god! Indeed, Hiruzen agreed gravely. He leaned toward the mic. Naruto, rejoin your classmates. Sorry, Jiji, I got carried away. It's fine, but promise me never to unleash something like that within the village walls, Hiruzen said firmly. I promise, Naruto nodded brightly. Good. Your classmates moved ahead to the next trial at Training Ground 7. You've already passed, but if you want to join, you can. I want to. Thanks, Jiji, Naruto cheered and bolted out. Hiruzen sighed. Send Tenzo to repair this mess before anyone notices. Yes, Hokage-sama, Kurenai replied. You always find new ways to trouble me, Naruto, Hiruzen muttered before vanishing in a swirl of leaves. Training Ground 7, when Naruto arrived, most of his classmates had already grouped up in threes. What's happening? He asked as he joined Kiba, Shikamaru, and Choji. There you are, where have you been? Shikamaru asked with a sigh. It took me a while to finish the last challenge, but I came as fast as I could, Naruto said, catching his breath. I figured you'd make it, though Sasuke's been spreading rumors that your scores were so bad you probably got kicked out. Choji smirked, talking around a mouthful of chips. Really now? Naruto's eyes narrowed dangerously. So, do you even know what this final trial is? Kiba asked curiously. Nope, what's going on? This test is being overseen by Jonin Kakashi Hadake. He told us we'll need to form teams of 3 before we start. Shikamaru replied lazily. So I've got to find 2 people to partner with, Naruto tilted his head. Not exactly, there are only 2 left unpaired. Who? Shino and Hinata, Kiba answered. What, just them? They're strong though. The boys exchanged glances until Shikamaru sighed. People don't respect Hinata because she's so shy, and Shino creeps them out with his bugs. That's why they're last. Naruto clenched his fists. Fine then. I'll team up with them, we'll prove everyone wrong. He stormed off toward Hinata and Shino. Hey Hinata-chan, Shino, I'll join you too if that's all right. I don't mind, Shino replied calmly. No, not at all, Naruto, Hinata stuttered with a small smile. Perfect, so where'd the Jonin go? Right behind you, Blondie. Naruto jumped as a voice whispered near his ear. He spun to see silver hair sticking up like it defied gravity itself. Still jumpy, huh? Wait, I remember you, your bushy-brow sensei's friend, Kakashi sighed. I guess you could call it that. My name is Kakashi Hadake, and I'll be running your final test. He motioned for all the groups to gather. Listen up, today's trial is simple. 5 Chunin stepped forward to stand behind Kakashi. Some of you will recognize 2 of them, Uruka and Mizuki. They'll help us simulate a mission you might face in the future. What's the mission, Kakashi-sensei? Sakura called. A capture and retrieval exercise. And what exactly are we supposed to capture? Shikamaru asked. Each team is assigned a Chunin to bring back to me alive. Along with them, you must retrieve an item they've stolen. The 5 Chunin approached their groups. Mizuki smirked at Naruto's team. Looks like I'm with you 3. Kakashi's tone sharpened. But there's one more condition, direct from the Hokage. Everyone went quiet. The team that finishes first, if any of you succeed, will each be allowed to choose one jutsu from the Hokage's personal library. Excitement exploded among the students as they whispered about which jutsu they'd take. Chunin, you've got a 30-second head start, make it count. The 5 vanished into the forest. Shino spoke first. Don't worry, we'll find him quickly. How? Naruto asked. Shino raised a finger, a tiny beetle crawling along it. My hive will track him no matter where he hides. And with my Byakugan, I'll see if he uses chakra, Hinata added quietly. Awesome. Then leave catching up to me, Naruto grinned, throwing his arms around their shoulders. Kakashi raised his hand. You have 3 hours to succeed. Remember, they won't let you take them without a fight. Ready, go. Naruto didn't let go of his teammates. Instead, he crouched low and launched all 3 of them skyward. The ground cracked where they'd stood. Shino's eyes widened. Naruto, what are you WAH? They soared through the air, Naruto gripping them tightly. Where is he? Naruto shouted over the rushing wind. Over there, Shino pointed. But how do we land? Naruto grinned. Land. Who said anything about landing? So, we're going to crash. Relax, I'm joking, I've got this. They closed in on Mizuki, who looked up just in time to hear the crack of Naruto's kick breaking the sound barrier. Whoa, Mizuki barely rolled aside before impact. Naruto flipped midair so his feet struck the ground first, running forward to absorb the momentum before doubling back. He set Hinata and Shino down carefully. Hey Mizuki-sensei, we're gonna need you to come with us, Naruto said, stepping forward. Mizuki laughed and pulled out his oversized shuriken. Not happening, brat. Tap. Naruto appeared behind him and shoved, sending Mizuki sprawling. Hinata darted forward, striking his chakra points and immobilizing him. Well, that was quick, Naruto said, grinning. So want to fly back or just walk? Shino looked pale. Walk, please. All right. Naruto slung Mizuki over his shoulder. Wait, what about the stolen item? Shino asked. Hinata activated her Byakugan and spotted a small stone marked Retrieve in Mizuki's pouch. He has it. Good enough for me. Naruto marched them back to training ground 7. We're back, Kakashi-sensei. Naruto called, dropping Mizuki at Kakashi's feet. Kakashi raised his head from his book. Did you also recover the item? Yes, sir. Naruto pulled the stone out of Mizuki's bag. Well done, you 3 pass, and in first place no less. Report to the academy tomorrow to see if you earn your headbands. Yes, sir, they chorused. Naruto grinned. Hinata, Shino, ramen to celebrate. I'll go, Shino said simply. All right, Hinata agreed, cheeks pink. Naruto, Kakashi spoke up before they left. Yeah, Kakashi-sensei, maybe leave Mizuki here before you head out. Naruto blinked, realizing he was still carrying Mizuki. Oh, right. Sorry about that, Mizuki-sensei. He set him down, then hurried off with his team to Ikaraku's. Later that night, after ramen and parting ways with his friends, Naruto remembered his daily training. Instead of going home, he climbed to the top of the Hokage monument to start his routine. He pushed himself late into the night, sweating through set after set. Just past midnight, he was finishing push-ups when alarms blared across the village. Naruto stood and dusted off his hands. Huh, what's going on? He looked down over the village lights from atop the 4th Hokage's head. I'd better check with Jiji, he thought, bending his knees before leaping high toward the Hokage tower. Meanwhile, inside the tower, attention, a Jonin barked. We've received word, Naruto Uzumaki has stolen the scroll of seals. Everyone is to spread out, locate him, and bring back the scroll. Gasps rippled through the room. Do not attack him, Hiruzen added sternly. If you find him, order him to come see me. Am I clear? Yes, Hokage-sama, 100 ninja answered, though many of the Leaf's forces were still away on missions. Uruka turned to Mizuki, frowning. Why would Naruto do this? He passed the trials so easily they were considering making him Chunin already. Why would he throw it away now? Mizuki's tone was bitter. Maybe it's his nature. You know what he carries inside him. How else do you explain that unnatural strength? Uruka's eyes blazed. He earned his strength by working harder than anyone, not because of that. All I'm saying is, maybe you don't know him as well as you think, Mizuki muttered. Uruka shook his head firmly. Naruto is stubborn, loud, and a total menace, but he's never been a liar. If he took the scroll, he had a reason. Hiruzen approached, having overheard. I agree with Uruka. I've watched that boy since birth. He's never once shown malice toward the village. Despite how he's been treated, his goal has always been the same. And what goal is that, Hokage-sama? Mizuki asked carefully. Hiruzen's eyes softened briefly. To protect the people he cares about, that's the source of his strength. And, he added silently, he just doesn't want to be forgotten ever again. Maybe he tried to take a shortcut to get that power, Mizuki muttered, sweat beading at his temple. He hoped the others would waste the night chasing the blonde brat while he slipped away. Still, if the Hokage himself felt this strongly, maybe Mizuki's plan wasn't as rock-solid as he'd thought. Either way, find him. Don't kill him. Bring him to me alive, understood? Yes, sir. The two ninjas saluted and darted off. Uruka, let's split up. We'll cover more ground that way. All right, Uruka called back, leaping one way while Mizuki went the other. With Naruto hovered in the air for 30 seconds, watching Konoha shrink beneath him. He saw squads fan out, heard the names Uruka, Mizuki, and Hiruzen pulled into the same conversation. His chakra-enhanced hearing had caught every word about him. I never knew Uruka-sensei thought of me like that, Naruto breathed. They'd gone for ramen a few times. He'd always assumed Uruka treated him like any student, not someone who worried about him. Jiji understands me better than anyone, Naruto thought, smiling to himself as he prepared to land. He flipped, aiming to touch down feet, first on the Hokage Tower roof, and landed softly. He walked to the ledge above Hiruzen's balcony, then dropped down and waited outside the office. It wasn't long before Hiruzen appeared. After 5 minutes, the old man opened his window and stepped out. Naruto bolted in. Jiji, IHMPH. He never finished the sentence. One of Hiruzen's ANBU lunged before he could speak, aiming a heavy strike at his skull. The blade struck the back of Naruto's head with blunt force. They'd meant to put him out in one hit, they failed. The sword snapped against Naruto's skull. He spun and faced them, unfazed. The cramped office left no room for big ninjutsu, so the ANBU chose taijutsu. One lunged with a front kick for Naruto's stomach, 3 others closed in. Naruto seized the first ANBU's ankle, spun him like a top, swept the others into the motion, and sent all 4 flying out the window he'd come through. They sailed into the night. Naruto didn't look worried. He'd be fine. Is there a reason you're attacking my people, Naruto? Hiruzen asked calmly, lighting his pipe as if everything was perfectly normal. Hee, sorry, Jiji, Naruto said, rubbing the back of his head. Hiruzen exhaled a cloud of pipe smoke. It's all right. I told them not to engage you, so they deserved a reprimand. He looked at the broken sword on the floor and then at Naruto. That wasn't there when I came in, Hiruzen said. Oh, that's what your ANBU hit me with, I guess, Naruto said, tilting his head. Hiruzen's face shifted from alert to a stiff, deadpan disbelief. If an ANBU's sword broke on your head, I'm not sure hard covers it. Hiruzen's calm returned. Are you here to return the scroll? Oh, right, that's why I came, Jiji, I don't have it. Hiruzen's expression hardened. Then why did someone report seeing you break into my vault and run off with the scroll strapped to your back? Hiruzen's pipe paused mid-puff. Tell me, Naruto, where were you earlier tonight? After the last test, I went to eat ramen with Shino and Hinata. Then I trained on the Hokage Rock. I stayed there the rest of the day, Naruto explained. So someone knew you'd be out of sight and used a transformation jutsu to frame you. Hiruzen frowned. But who? Bring me Mizuki, Hiruzen said suddenly. He filed the report. I want to hear what he says. Yes, Jiji, Naruto answered, already crouched to run when Hiruzen called again. If Mizuki won't come quietly, use force, Hiruzen added. How much force? Naruto asked. As much as you need to get answers. That scroll is dangerous, Naruto. It can spell disaster for this village. How dangerous, Jiji? Dangerous enough that we have to get it back. Hiruzen's voice was grave. Naruto's smile turned sharp. I understand. Then he leaped out the window into the night. With Mizuki had doubled back across the village to the red light district where he'd hidden the scroll of seals. He grabbed it and made a break for the exit, only to find the gate heavily guarded. He cursed, pivoting toward the secret tunnel he'd been told about and wondering why he hadn't used it first. He ran until his legs trembled. Almost there, he told himself. Almost where Mizuki-sensei, came a small voice. To the secret exit, Mizuki replied. He felt the wrongness in the air, something off, but he couldn't place it. And who told you about this exit? It was Kabu. He cut himself off as realization hit. Naruto was running beside him, matching his pace. Mizuki blinked. The kid looked more bored than determined. You caught me, Mizuki-sensei, Naruto said, smiling. Mizuki skidded to a stop. Naruto mirrored him and leaned on one knee, winded but calm. What are you doing here? Mizuki barked, scanning for other chasing ninja. Following you, Naruto said simply. Mizuki's sneer slipped into something friendlier, but his eyes stayed sharp. Why do you have that huge scroll on your back? Never mind that. Hey, have you ever wondered why the village treats you that way? Mizuki asked, switching to a softer tone. Yeah, why? Naruto asked, the smile draining from his face. I can't say. Orders from the Hokage. Tell me, Mizuki. Naruto's voice went flat. The look in his eyes, a cold, detached stare, made Mizuki's skin prickle. He'd seen that expression on hardened veterans, never children. Mizuki bristled. Inside, he snarled, this brat thinks he can scare me. I'm a Chunin, I'll wipe that smug look off his face. He forced himself outwardly calm, then snapped. Do you remember the stories? About the Kyuubi destroying much of the village and how the fourth Hokage saved us. You said he died afterward, Naruto said. That's not entirely correct, Mizuki said, voice dropping. The fourth didn't kill the Kyuubi. He sealed it, he put it into you. Naruto's face blanked. They treated me that way because I'm the Kyuubi, Mizuki lunged, flicking a Fuma shuriken from his back. Naruto caught it between his fingers and, with a small twist of his wrist, sent it back toward Mizuki. The older ninja ducked and readied for a proper fight, but Naruto had already vanished. Jiji told me to bring you back alive. I could punch you senseless, but he said to keep you whole, Naruto said from behind. Mizuki spun and swung. Naruto stopped the blow with a single hand. He gripped Mizuki's wrist and squeezed. Hee, Mizuki-sensei. Naruto's smile widened. Mizuki felt his joints protest. What, let me go? Nope. Naruto lifted him as if he weighed nothing, then slammed him into the ground. Mizuki tasted copper. Naruto repeated it, over and over, until Mizuki's body was a ruined, groaning heap. When he finally stopped, Mizuki could barely see straight. Naruto hauled him upright so their faces were close. You took something from my Jiji, Mizuki. If it had fallen into the wrong hands, it would have been a disaster. Remember that the next time you steal. I don't care about most of this village, but if anyone hurts the people I care about, he leaned in, voice low and dangerous, I'll kill THEM. Red chakra flared around Naruto in a quick, furious flicker and vanished. I always knew you were nothing but a monster, Mizuki thought bitterly before the pain overwhelmed him and his body went limp. Naruto wrinkled his nose. Ugh, what's that smell? He muttered, sniffing the air. Sniff, sniff, no way, did you just crap yourself? That's disgusting, Mizuki. Naruto yelled, shaking his head before leaping into the night sky with Mizuki slung over his shoulder. With Hiruzen, the third Hokage sat calmly in his office, puffing on his pipe as he waited. He had no doubts Naruto would return successful. His thoughts were interrupted by a sudden thud on the balcony. So Hiruzen's words stopped as he immediately gagged and pulled his sleeve over his nose. What in the world is that stench? Naruto grinned sheepishly. Hee, Mizuki. Hiruzen pinched the bridge of his nose and signaled his ANBU. Get that smell out of my office. Though they cast quick glares at Naruto, the ANBU followed their Hokage's order and dragged Mizuki away. Now then, tell me everything, Hiruzen said gravely. Naruto explained it all, the trick Mizuki tried, the lies he spewed, and how he beat the Chunin half to death. I see, Hiruzen said quietly. So now you know the truth. Naruto's voice wavered. Were you ever planning to tell me? I was, Hiruzen nodded. When? After you officially received your headband tomorrow. Naruto's pain was clear. Why not sooner? You were too young. If you'd said the wrong thing to the wrong person, it could have gotten you hurt. Oh, there's something else, Naruto, Hiruzen continued after a pause. What is it, Jiji? I know who your parents are. Naruto's eyes widened. What? But you said you didn't know. I lied, and I apologize. Naruto clenched his fists but forced himself to calm down. So, who were they? I can't tell you yet, I swore on their wishes. You won't know until you reach Chunin rank. You're serious? You're really not going to tell me? Not tonight, Naruto, Naruto groaned. Come on, just give me a hint, Jiji. Hiruzen chuckled softly. I'm afraid not, Naruto sighed. Fine, I'm heading home then, night Jiji. He jumped out the window, heading back to his apartment. Good night, Naruto, Hiruzen said with a tired smile. Sir, one of the ANBU asked, drawing his attention. Yes. The scroll of seals has been secured and Mizuki has been admitted to the emergency wing. He'll be questioned in the morning. Good. Any word on what he intended to do with it? None, Hokage-sama. He's been silent since we brought him in. Keep me informed, I'm retiring for the night. Yes, Lord Hokage. As Hiruzen left, the ANBU relaxed slightly. You're lucky your blade failed, Nico, a tall ANBU in a bear mask said. Otherwise, you might have killed the boy. There was nothing wrong with my sword, Kuma, Nico snapped. Then how do you explain it shattering against his skull? Asked Tora, the ANBU in a tiger mask. I don't know. That sword never failed me in years of use. Maybe it was just old, Tora offered. Or maybe, Kuma muttered, recalling the blonde tossing them aside so effortlessly, there's something more to him than just the Kyuubi. Nico sighed. And to think I'm supposed to be his Jonin instructor tomorrow. Tora chuckled. Didn't you want to mentor someone? Not a brawler like him. I wanted a student to pass my sword style to. He's nothing like that. Give him a chance, Nico, Kuma said. Fine, but don't expect much. If it doesn't work, I'll be back here complaining in a few weeks. That's all anyone can ask, Kuma replied. I just hope the brat isn't as troublesome as they say, Nico thought grimly. The next morning, the academy classroom buzzed with excitement. Today was the day the graduates received their headbands. We made it, Ino Pig. We're finally shinobi, Sakura squealed. Told you, forehead, Ino shot back. Other girls huddled together, chatting excitedly, except Hinata, who sat quietly near Shino. Why don't you join them, Hinata-san? Shino asked. I don't want to, they're just fangirling, it makes Kunoichi look bad. Are you not the same about Naruto? Shino pressed. No, I'm nothing like them, she blurted, startling him. My apologies. Sorry, Shino, Hinata said softly. It's fine. Meanwhile, Kiba pumped his fist. We did it, Akamaru, we're ninja. Arf, too noisy, Shikamaru groaned. Think we can grab barbecue later? Choji mumbled. Sounds good to me, Kiba grinned. Sasuke, however, sat brooding in silence, his thoughts consumed by revenge. The classroom door slammed open, Naruto bounded inside, grinning ear to ear. We did it, we're real ninja now. Don't celebrate yet, Sakura snapped. You didn't even finish the final trial yesterday, Naruto blinked. What were you talking about? Of course we did. There's no way you caught a Chunin. Sasuke-kun finished first, we never even saw you leave, Ino said. We were first, Naruto retorted. Liar, you're stronger than normal but not that strong. Sakura scoffed. Naruto crossed his arms, but Shino spoke up. Naruto is telling the truth. We completed our mission before anyone else. Then why didn't we see you waiting outside? Ino demanded. Perhaps we finished too quickly, so our Chunin allowed us to leave instead of waiting, Shino reasoned. Then tell us how fast, Sakura pressed. 15 minutes, 47 seconds, Kakashi said as he strolled in, nose buried in a book. Impossible, Sasuke shouted, standing up. There's no way the dead last, the bug freak, and that weak Hyuga beat me. I don't believe it. What you believe is irrelevant, Asuma said coolly, cigarette in hand. Sasuke scoffed. I'm stronger than all three of them combined. It took me 2 hours and they expect us to believe. 2 hours, 48 minutes, 32 seconds, Kakashi corrected without looking up. Not bad for a rookie, but they still beat you. You're lying, Sasuke shouted. No. You lost, Asuma said bluntly. I don't lose, I'm an Uchiha. And you still lost, kid, Asuma shot back. Kurenai sighed. I feel sorry for you, Kakashi, you're stuck with him. Thanks for that, Kakashi muttered. The room quieted as the Hokage entered. The students stood at attention. Good morning, everyone. Today you'll learn your official teams and Jonin instructors, Hiruzen announced. He read out the teams one by one. Team 7. Sasuke, Sakura, and Sai with Kakashi, an assault team. Team 8, Hinata, Shino, and Kiba with Kurenai, a tracking team. Team 10, Shikamaru, Choji, and Ino with Asuma, capture and interrogation. Finally, Hiruzen turned to Naruto. That leaves you, Naruto Uzumaki. Due to the odd number of students, you'll form a special two-man emergency response unit. Your Jonin sensei will be Yugo Uzuki. At that moment, a purple-haired woman entered, signaling Naruto to stand beside her. These will be your comrades, your allies, your family. Fight for them, protect them, and if one goes rogue, be ready to bring them back or end them. Remember this well. The Jonin handed out headbands, officially marking them as genin. Meet your instructors at Training Ground 7 in 3 hours. Dismissed, Asuma ordered as the teams filed out. Only Naruto, Yugo, and Hiruzen remained. Naruto scratched his head. So, you're the one who broke your sword over my skull, huh? Yugo kept her tone even. I don't know what you're talking about, we've never met. Don't lie to him, Hiruzen said before leaving. He'll need to trust you, Yugo exhaled. Yes, that was me, why, are you upset about it? Naruto smirked. Nah. Just thought it was kind of funny. Heh, nah, takes a lot more than that to tick me off. Besides, you weren't actually aiming to kill me, right? If I were, do you think I would have struck with the blunt side of my blade? See. I knew it, huh? Knew what exactly? That you weren't seriously trying to hurt me. That's why I tossed you instead of throwing a punch. Naruto grinned wide, while she gave him a flat, unamused stare. You launched me and 3 ANBU operatives out of an 8-story window. Hee hee, my bad, exasperated Sai. Forget it, let's just head somewhere else. You know a place we can talk. Ikaraku's. That's a ramen stand. Why there? She asked, already regretting opening her mouth. Because it's the single greatest blessing ever bestowed upon mankind. The holy food of legends, the very thing that makes the world spin. Most importantly, because it's ramen, he declared, grabbing her wrist and leaping straight out the window with no hesitation. After sprinting across town and dragging a very unwilling Yugo along, Naruto plopped her onto a stool at Ikaraku's. Old man, emergency, ramen emergency. Kyuchai poked his head out from the back. What's the crisis this time, Naruto? She doesn't know, old man. She asked me why I eat here. You've got to show her the truth. Kyuchai chuckled. I'll see what I can whip up. He disappeared into the kitchen and returned with one enormous steaming bowl and a normal-sized one. One miso for the lady, and the Naruto special for you, he said kindly. Thanks, old man. Naruto immediately dug in, while Yugo began her meal at a slower, more refined pace. They ended up talking for nearly an hour. She asked about his life, his hobbies, his favorite food. The answer was obvious, and Naruto asked the same of her. Eventually, she brought up his jutsu. Wait, you only know the academy basics. Naruto scratched his head with a nervous laugh. I can only do 2 of them right, transformation and substitution. My clone jutsu always fails miserably. Ah, the Hokage mentioned your issue. Naruto's eyes lit up. Really? Then he knows why I can't do it. He does. Well, what's wrong with me? Simple, got way too much chakra. And that's bad. Not inherently. Having a large chakra pool is amazing if you can control it properly. So if I learn control, I can finally do the clone jutsu. Nope. Naruto face-planted into the counter. But you just said, and I meant it. The clone jutsu requires tiny, precise chakra use. You've got so much chakra that no matter how much control you gain, the technique will never work right. So, I can never do it. Not the regular version. But there are other kinds of clone techniques. His eyes brightened again. Other kinds. Elemental clones, illusionary clones, and shadow clones, for instance. Naruto tilted his head, confused. Shadow clone, Yugo thought for a moment. Let's go see the Hokage. After that, we'll stop by training field 7. She stood up and finished her ramen. Wait, I'm not done with mine yet. Naruto tilted his bowl back and slurped the entire thing in one go. Thanks, old man. Tell I said hi, Kyuchai chuckled. Will do, have fun with your date. Naruto went beet red and nearly tripped catching up with Yugo. You all right? Your face looks flushed, she asked. Why yeah, totally fine. As they walked, Naruto piped up again. So, sensei, what exactly is the shadow clone jutsu? It's a technique that creates solid duplicates of yourself. Unlike regular clones, which are just illusions, shadow clones can fight, train, and do anything you can, though they're not as tough. Naruto's eyes practically sparkled. That's awesome. I figured you'd like it, she said with a rare smile. Hawkage Tower office Hiruzen had barely returned from lunch when his assistant entered. Hawkage-sama, Yugo Yuzuki and Naruto Uzumaki are here to see you. Send them in. Yugo bowed politely. Good afternoon, Hawkage-sama. Hey Gigi, Naruto grinned and waved. Naruto, mind your manners, Yugo scolded. Hiruzen chuckled. It's fine, he's been calling me that since he could walk. If it bothered me, I would have stopped it long ago. See, told you, Naruto teased, sigh. Yes, Hokage-sama, Yugo relented. So what brings you here? This isn't just a social call, I assume. Sir, I came to collect Naruto's promised jutsu scroll, Yugo explained. Ah, so you think he's ready? Yes, sir. Very well. Hiruzen stood, pulled a book from a shelf, and revealed a hidden room filled with scrolls. Forgive the mess, I haven't cleaned since yesterday's incident. Yugo entered without hesitation. Naruto stayed outside. Not going in, Naruto. Nah, Sensei said she'd pick the best one for me. If you trust her, then I'll trust her too, Naruto replied with a grin. That earned a genuine smile from the old Hokage. I see, Yugo soon returned, carrying a single scroll. Which jutsu is it? Naruto asked eagerly. The Shadow Clone Jutsu, Yugo and Hiruzen said almost in unison. But why couldn't you teach it to me, Sensei? I never learned it myself. My chakra isn't suited for it, she admitted. Naruto eagerly opened the scroll and started practicing hand signs on the couch, while Hiruzen and Yugo spoke quietly. It's been years since you tried it yourself, Yugo. Perhaps now you could succeed. Maybe, I'll test it once he settles into training. Training Field 7. Once everyone finally gathered, and Kakashi finished being late, the Jonin instructors introduced themselves. Asuma stepped forward first. I'm Asuma Sarutobi, I'll be handling weapons training and tactics. I'm Kurenai Yuhai, the next said. I'll be covering Genjutsu. Yugo Yuzuki. Sealing arts and first aid. Kakashi gave a lazy wave. Kakashi Hadake, ninjutsu and teamwork. Finally, Guy shouted, Might Guy, Taijutsu master and physical training coach. Nice to meet you, youthful students. Then it was the Genin's turn. Shikamaru yawned. Shikamaru Nara, Shadow Possession Jutsu, nice to meet you. Then he promptly laid down. Choji munched on a chip. Choji Akimichi. Expansion Jutsu and eating, nice to meet you. Ino smiled brightly. Ino Yamanaka, Mind Techniques, pleased to meet you all. She winked at Sasuke, who ignored her. Hinata stuttered shyly. Hinata Hyuga, I specialize in Gentle Fist and the Byakugan. Please take care of me. Her eyes kept flicking toward Naruto. Kiba jumped in with his dog barking. Kiba and Yuzuka, and this is Akamaru. We specialize in beast mimicry and taijutsu. Shino adjusted his glasses. Shino Aburame, my specialty is insect techniques. Nice to meet you. Sai gave a strange smile. Sai, ink-based jutsu. And finally, Sakura spoke. Sakura Haruno, I don't really have a specialty yet, but I have good chakra control. Sasuke crossed his arms. Sasuke Uchiha. My strengths are fire style and eventually my Sharingan. It's not even your strong suit if you can't use it properly yet, you emo idiot, Naruto shouted. Says you, Dobi, and what's your specialty anyway? Annoying everyone around you. Ha, says the guy who's never managed to beat me. Scoffs, just wait until I awaken my Sharingan, then you'll see how weak you really are, Dobi. Boys, that's enough, Kurenai yelled. Sorry, Naruto muttered. The name's Naruto Uzumaki, fighting is my specialty, nice to meet you. Yash, I'm Rock Lee and my thing is Taijutsu, pleasure, Lee shouted with his signature beaming grin. Tenten, weapons and sealing techniques, glad to meet you all. Neji Hyuga, my clan's Gentle Fist and Byakugan are my specialties. Asuma stepped forward, taking charge as the Jonin team leader. Good. Now we have a little challenge for all of you. What kind of challenge, Asuma-sensei? Ino asked. Simple, you need to defeat Naruto in a fight. Wait, that's it. We just have to beat the blonde. What's the point of this? Tenten frowned. It's to show you how strong some people can be. If you manage to beat him, we'll get you anything you want. So, one person beats the blonde and they get a reward. That sounds easy, Tenten said. No, not one person. All of you at once against Naruto, Kakashi clarified. Group gasp, what? You heard right. If all of you can take him down, each of you gets a prize. But if Naruto wins, he gets an all-you-can-eat pass to Ikaraku Ramen, Yugo added. Naruto's eyes sparkled and a mischievous grin spread across his face. But sensei, that's unfair. There's no way Naruto can take all of us at once, Sakura protested. Then there's nothing to worry about, right? Asuma smirked. All right, Ikarakus, here I come, Naruto shouted as he jumped to his feet, stretching and preparing. You'd better get ready. He'll be here in 5 minutes, so use that time wisely, Kakashi warned. All the students except Sasuke, Neji, and Rock Lee grouped together. Hey, we need a plan, Shikamaru exclaimed. HNN useless. I can take Dobion myself, Sasuke said calmly. No need. Victory is already fated, Neji said simply. Yash, one-on-one is the only honorable way. I will challenge him alone, Rock Lee said proudly. Sai, fine, let those three keep him busy while we plan, Shikamaru muttered. Oh, come on. No genin is so strong he needs this much prep, Tenten groaned. Listen. Naruto may be an idiot, but he's a monster fighter. At 10, he was already too strong for us to spar with. And I have a feeling he's only gotten stronger since then, Shikamaru warned. All right, I'm listening, Tenten said. Here's the strategy. 5 minutes later, everyone ready? Kakashi asked. Yes, begin. Yash, I'm first. Slam. Naruto disappeared and reappeared in front of Lee, grabbing his head and slamming him into the ground. Crash, clap. He vanished again. Neji was caught by his ankles and smashed into Lee, who was already down. Naruto appeared behind Sasuke, smacking him on the back of the head so hard he face-planted. Before anyone could react, Naruto vanished again. Whoa, did you see? Tap, Kiba was flicked on the forehead, flipping him through the air. Naruto was gone again. Where is he? Choji shouted. Slam, whoosh, POW. Choji and Shikamaru collided midair, then Naruto caught them and threw them into Shino. Next, Sai was struck in the jaw so fast he collapsed like a puppet with cut strings. Hinata, Sakura, Ino, and Tenten each got a tap on the head, enough to knock them out cold. Finally, Naruto appeared holding Akamaru by the scruff of his neck, who whimpered softly. Do I have to take him out too? Naruto asked, holding the dog up. The Jonin watched in stunned silence. They had known Naruto was strong, but witnessing him dispatch everyone in mere seconds, only 10 from Kakashi's begin, was beyond belief. No wonder the Hokage placed him on a solo team, they all thought. Naruto, you can let him go, Asuma said. Okay, Naruto replied, setting Akamaru down behind Kiba. So about that Ikaraku pass. With a sigh here in joy, Kurenai said. Yada, Ikaraku, here I come. Naruto dashed off. While Naruto was devouring ramen, the Jonin discussed the battle. I never imagined a genin could be this strong, Kurenai admitted. At this point, can he even be called a genin? Yugo added. Rank doesn't determine strength, Asuma said. Naruto's spirit burns fiercely for his age, Guy exclaimed. Grown Wa, what happened? Rock Lee muttered as he stirred awake. My student woke before yours, Kakashi. Victory is mine, Guy cheered. Whatever, Kakashi muttered. Guy laughed and helped Lee up. How are you feeling, my youthful apprentice? Like I got pounded repeatedly, Guy-sensei, Lee replied, jumping to his feet. A little pain won't stop me, Lee declared proudly. The other students woke, one by one, and were checked on by their sensei. Sasuke was last. HNN, Sasuke grunted, lifting himself up. Sasuke-kun! Sakura and Ino ran to him, worried. After joining the group, Sasuke dropped onto the ground. What happened? He asked. Simple, you lost again, Kakashi said. But how? Sasuke demanded. Asuma asked, what did you do wrong? The students stayed silent until Shikamaru spoke. We split up and tried to fight fairly, even knowing he was stronger. Ding ding, that's right. You wasted the time we gave you, hesitated, and executed your plan too late. Opportunity is everything, Asuma explained. But you said 5 minutes, Ino protested. I said he'd arrive in 5 minutes, not that you should wait to attack, Kakashi clarified. But isn't that cheating? Sakura asked. Honor doesn't save lives. A ninja wins by using every chance they get, Asuma said firmly. But Guy-sensei always taught us about honor, Lee protested. In real combat, honor is what the victor decides, Guy said. But how can you define honor just because you won? Sasuke asked. When you're dead, arguing about it is pointless, Yugo replied. Exactly. Dying honorably doesn't win battles, Kurenai added. The students were silent. So, what should we have done? Choji asked. Use the time to hide, set traps, or attack early. Your ninja act like it. Asuma said, looking at each of them. Sasuke was held back by Kakashi. Come with me, Sasuke, he said. What is it? Privately, Kakashi said. They walked deeper into the woods. What are you doing, Sasuke? I don't know what you mean. Don't lie, I knew your brother. He wouldn't have taught you to challenge someone clearly stronger than you. Dark chuckle, he never trained me. I was never good enough. To him, I was worthless, weak, not even worth killing. Sasuke snapped. Sasuke, that's not true. The man you describe sounds more like your father than your brother, Kakashi said softly. Then why do I only remember him acting like that? Sasuke asked, brow furrowed. Kakashi paused and shrugged. That's something I can't explain. Maybe one day you'll get your answer. He turned to leave. Kakashi-sensei, Sasuke called after him. What should I have done about Naruto? The question came quieter, unsure. Kakashi stopped and looked at him. Tell me, Sasuke, who's the strongest ninja you know? My brother, Sasuke replied without hesitation. Kakashi exhaled softly. I thought you'd say that. All right, who do you think would win in a fight, your brother or Naruto? My brother, no contest. Kakashi let out a slow sigh. You might be right that your brother would win, but not as easily as you think. Sasuke's eyes narrowed. Are you saying Naruto, the Dobi, is even close to my brother? Put it this way, if your brother had time to prepare, he'd probably win. If he ambushed Naruto, he'd likely win. But lock them in a room with no prep? 9 times out of 10 your brother wouldn't come out alive. Sasuke blinked, unsettled. He'd always known Naruto was strong for a genin, maybe one of the strongest in their class, but the idea that Naruto might outmatch his brother outright was shocking. So how could my brother possibly beat him? Kakashi's visible eye crinkled with thought. It's not just physical power. Your brother wins with his mind. He fights with strategy, he's always 2, 3 moves ahead. Give that mind the Sharingan, which reads and counters opponents, and you've got a dangerous combination. Strength and speed can be matched, but a mind like that, that's rare. Sasuke let the words sink in. I see. All right, have a good day, Sasuke. Kakashi melted away in a skitter of leaves. Sasuke glanced at his own hands, thinking, my mind, he repeated inwardly. Training ground 7-5 in the morning. How on earth did you eat 5,000 ryo worth of ramen? Yugo shouted, hands on her hips as she glared at Naruto. Naruto grinned sheepishly. Hee, sorry. Where would you even carry that much ramen? You don't look like you gained a single pound. Oh, I burned it off last night. Naruto gave an embarrassed shrug. Yugo rolled her eyes. Whatever, come on, let's go join the others. She muttered under her breath as she stomped away. Stupid blonde brat, that's a week's wages gone. Asuma clapped his hands to get everyone's attention. Listen up, today you'll receive your first missions as ninja. Team Guy, you've already been through this, so only come to the field for team training once a week, is that understood? Yash, sounds perfect, Asuma-sensei. Team, let's move out. Guy shouted in his usual flourish, and he and his team left the field. Asuma looked around the remaining students and made his plan. The rest of you will head to the Hokage's Tower for your initial missions. After today, we'll regroup here once weekly for team exercises, everyone clear? That's fine, Kurenai agreed. Yep, Kakashi answered in his lazy drawl. Sure, Yugo nodded. All right, move out, Asuma ordered. The group left the training ground, toward the Hokage Tower. Naruto paused and tugged at Yugo's sleeve when he realized she wasn't walking with the others. Nini, Yugo-sensei, aren't we coming with them? Yugo hesitated. No, I'm sorry, Naruto. The Hokage already gave our mission. Yada, what is it? Rescuing a princess? Freeing a country? Are we taking down a tyrant? Naruto's face lit up at the thought. Yugo's smile was small and strained. Nothing so dramatic. Pack for 2 days and meet me at the gate. Roger, Yugo-sensei. Naruto bounced off, already heading home. Yugo muttered as she watched him go. I hoped it wouldn't come this soon, she thought, and then left to prepare herself. 6 a.m. Konoha Gates. Yugo waited, rehearsing how to tell him. Naruto arrived practically bounding, a bulky green pack strapped to his back. What's that, Naruto? She asked. My ramen bag, Yugo-sensei, he said proudly. Yugo pinched the bridge of her nose. And your supplies? Oh, they're in there too. Change of clothes, fire kit, first aid, and my goggles. Goggles? Yugo's eyebrows rose. Goggles? They're a birthday present from Gigi. I never leave without them. Naruto's grin faltered as he realized how that sounded. Yugo's expression softened into something like resolve. We'll talk about what you've done later. Ready? Ready, they set off. Their destination was a bandit camp a day's trek from the village. Normally, Jonin waited until a genin was older before exposing them to a real bandit extermination mission. But the Hokage insisted Naruto be included in a controlled situation so he wouldn't freeze in a real emergency. They walked and traded small talk. Yugo told him about hate. Naruto spoke about Ikaraku bowl after bowl. 10 miles out, Yugo suddenly stopped and lowered her voice. I didn't want you facing this yet, she whispered. What is it? Naruto cocked his head. Our mission, we go to exterminate a bandit group that's gotten too close to Konoha. And by exterminate you mean? Naruto's voice lost a little of its bounce. Kill them, Naruto. We're here to kill. A shadow passed over Naruto's features. He looked faint for a moment. Yugo steeled herself and led him through the trees until the camp appeared below. She expected reluctant fear. She didn't expect what she saw next. Stop, please don't do this. A man's voice cried as a teenage girl was dragged toward a tent, her face wet with tears. No, Daddy, help me, the girl screamed, clawing at the man's back. Around them, rough, leering faces and a camp of at least 20 bandits. Easy now, sweetheart, the leader said with a smirk. Wouldn't want you to spoil the merchandise. The father tried to rise but was bound. His body immobilized by ropes. Yugo felt a shameful anger well in her chest. She glanced at Naruto, expecting him to be shaken. Instead, she saw an expression that stole the breath from her. His face was blank, utterly without the usual grin, without the mischief. His tone, when he spoke, held something wrong, deepened and edged with something else. I'm ready to kill them now, Yugo-sensei, Naruto said, eyes glinting with a violet sheen. The Kyuubi's chakra threaded through him and warped the timbre of his voice. The chill that ran down Yugo's spine was more than just presentiment. She wasn't sure whose voice she heard inside him. Are you certain you can manage? She asked quietly. Yes, he answered simply. I can. Good, I'll watch from here. If you need help, I'll step in. Understood. Naruto moved so fast Yugo hardly saw him go. He landed smack in the middle of the camp. The impact startled everyone. Men scrambled to arms, more amused than afraid at first. Look, boys, a little ninja come to the party. One jeered, laughter ricocheting. Naruto's voice when he spoke was calm as if pointing out a fact. 15 of you, right? The bandits sneered and taunted. What are you gonna do, kid? Save the girl? Where did you take her? Naruto asked. They jeered again. The leader leered and made a crude joke. You die first, Naruto replied, expression unreadable. A second later, the leader's laugh was cut off in mid-sentence. Men looked around bewildered, then looked up. The leader's head lay in Naruto's hands. Its owner's shoulders slumped as bones crumbled, and his body collapsed into dust beneath Naruto's boot. Fragile, Naruto murmured, voice low. Like crushing a grape. Horror rippled through the camp. Some vomited, others stood rooted, eyes wide. Naruto blinked, and in those blinks he was gone, appearing again and again in a blur. Each time he vanished, another bandit dropped, exploded into gore, or simply went still. When only one was left, trembling, frantic, already soiled with fear, Naruto materialized in front of him. He was smeared in blood. His orange jumpsuit was dark with it. His eyes glowed red, narrow slits for pupils. Now, he said slowly, more machine than boy. Where is the girl? The man, who'd emptied his bowels in terror, babbled everything he knew. The other camps, the routes, the locations where they kept captives. He coughed out names and places, a frantic map of bandit hideouts, until Yugo stepped forward and took command. Thank you. Naruto stepped closer, reaching out to grab him just as Yugo appeared. Naruto, stand down. He paused and glanced at her before his expression softened back to normal. Okay, Yugo-sensei. Naruto stepped back, giving the man space. Report, she commanded, trying to stay composed despite the massacre the blonde had just caused, and his sudden shift from the unstoppable force back to the familiar ramen-loving boy. Naruto recounted everything the bandit had said. Then he asked if he could go free the hostage. Not like this. You'd only scare her more. I'll handle that part. You go clean up. Yes, Yugo-sensei, Naruto chirped before heading off to change. So you're letting me go? The bandit asked. Shing, Yugo's blade flashed and the man's head flew off, his face frozen in shock. Of course not, she muttered to herself, sealing the head away. I just didn't want Naruto messing up the evidence. Then she went to rescue the hostages. 2 weeks had passed since Naruto's first mission. During that time, he had mastered the shadow clone jutsu and its variations. Yugo even showed him the unique trait of the technique. "So, I understand how they work now," Naruto asked, standing in the empty training field. Yugo had brought him here after noticing how well he'd grasped the shadow clone jutsu. Essentially, when a clone disperses or is destroyed, though that's unlikely, the experience it gained transfers to you. "Wait, so I can use clones to exercise more." "What? If I make 2 clones and each does 10,000 push-ups when they vanish, do I get the effect of 20,000 push-ups?" Sigh. "Naruto, be honest. What's your current workout routine?" Oh, just 20,000 push-ups, sit-ups, and squats a day, followed by a 50-mile run." "Why?" Yugao's right eye twitched. She shouldn't have been shocked, he always said things like this. But 20,000? No wonder he's so strong. With the Kyuubi healing him, his body surpassed normal limits a long time ago. Groan. "It doesn't work that way. If it were learning a new skill, sure, but clones don't transfer physical training." "Oh, that's disappointing." Sigh. "This training-obsessed blonde might be the thing that finally drives me insane. 10 years in Anbu, and now him." Yugao thought. "Naruto, let's see how many clones you can make at once. Don't worry if it's just a few. Most Jonin can manage 3 at best." "Right," Naruto nodded, forming the correct hand seals. "Shadow clone jutsu. Enough, I can't deal with this." Yugo shouted, storming off as Naruto now had 5,000 clones around him. "What's wrong, Yugo-sensei?" the clones asked. "Ga, stay here and keep training, or whatever it is you do." "Yes, Yugo-sensei." Hokage Tower Yugo burst through the doors of the Hokage office, only pausing briefly at the assistant's desk as a courtesy. "Hokage-sama, I want to resign as Naruto's sensei," she yelled, fury in her eyes. Hiruzen glanced up briefly from his paperwork before returning to it. "If you wish to resign, Yugo, I won't stop you. But I thought you enjoyed working with Naruto." He set aside the paper, took a puff from his pipe, and gave her his full attention. I do like him. Despite his quirks, Naruto's a good kid." Yugo admitted, her glare softening into exhaustion. "Then what's the problem?" "He's already too strong. There's nothing more I can teach him that would help. I could show him swordsmanship, but he's not interested." Hiruzen exhaled slowly. "Do you know why I chose you as his sensei?" "No, sir." "Because you are loyal and hardworking, but more importantly, because you are kind. You judge people by who they are, not their status. You treat Naruto as the child he is, not just the Kyuubi's vessel. And you've done that, haven't you?" "Yes, Hokage-sama, but what?" "He scares me sometimes. Not intentionally, I'm sure, but I've seen what he's capable of. The destruction he could cause, doesn't that worry you?" Hiruzen's eyes softened, mist forming slightly. "Not a day goes by I don't think about that. I've watched over him since his mother entrusted him to me. His parents were some of the best people I knew. When they died, I wept like a child." He reached for a bottle of sake. "Would you like some?" "Sure." Hiruzen poured them both a glass. "I never wanted this job back. When I retired, I swore it was over. But you know how that turned out. He died protecting us from the Kyuubi." Puff. "Indeed." He drank deeply before continuing. "Watching Naruto grow is one thing I don't regret. But if he ever went rogue, the village would pay for it. No one could stop him. But he protects the people he cares about, his Nindo. That's what shields this village." "And if everything he holds dear was taken?" Yugo asked cautiously. Hiruzen's eyes flared. "I pity the fool who tries." Urgent knocking. "Hokage-sama, emergency contact from team guy." "Come in," the assistant handed over a scroll. "Yugo, get Naruto and report back in 10 minutes." Hiruzen ordered. "Yes, Hokage-sama." 10 minutes later, team guy needs rescuing. 2 are captured, the others sent this message for backup. "Who was captured?" Yugo asked. "Guy and Tenten." "How was Guy captured?" "He's an elite Jonin. Tenten was taken first by someone claiming to be AI Rokusho. AI threatened her unless Guy surrendered. After he did, the others escaped to request help." "Is that all?" "Yes. Coordinates are included for the remaining members." "The land of tea. Move quickly. Who knows what AI will do to them?" "Yes, Hokage-sama." Yugo and Naruto saluted, then leapt from the window. Team Guy. Earlier, they had been escorting a merchant from the Wasabi family through the land of tea. "Oh, you'll love it. Tea houses, beaches, and the scenery, not to mention the women." "Did you hear that, Guy-sensei?" Beaches means swim training. Indeed, my youthful apprentice. Swim the island 10 times, or 500 push-ups, or 1,000 squats. Tenten guided Neji and the merchant's horse a little farther down the path until they were out of earshot of the others. Sorry about my sensei and my teammate, she said, embarrassed. They can be a bit intense. The merchant laughed. Don't worry, miss. Their energy is kind of refreshing. Enthusiasm, huh? Tenten forced a smile while Neji stayed as composed as ever. They had been traveling for 5 days when they reached the ferry that would carry them toward the land of tea. After 3 days at sea, they disembarked onto the island, and everything seemed to be going smoothly, until it wasn't. I'm sure you'll enjoy, the merchant began, then a sharp asterisk thunk asterisk split the air. An arrow thudded into the ground near them, launched from the tree line. We're under attack. Lee Neji rear guard. Tenten, you take the client up front. Move, move, Guy barked. Tenten vaulted onto the merchant's horse, the merchant scrambling up beside her, and they spurred forward. Guy, Lee, and Neji raced behind, deflecting a flurry of arrows as they ran. 2 bandits lunged in front of the horse, attempting to halt it. Not today, Tenten snapped, pulling a handful of throwing knives. Each flew true, finding the bandits' faces and blinding them. Guy and Lee finished them as they passed, Guy with a spinning heel to the skull, Lee with a breakneck snap. They pushed on for several minutes, the horse gradually pulled ahead. Hey, slow down, you're getting too far, Tenten shouted. I can't, the horse won't listen, the merchant cried, tugging futilely at the reins. The animal ignored him and kept running. When Tenten realized the horse wasn't stopping, she grabbed the merchant and leapt free. They hit the ground, rolling until they came to a stop, the merchant toppling onto her, and then they heard the animal cry. Senbin sank into its flank, it collapsed, unable to rise. A man stepped out of the shadows, blue hair, purple eyes, and a bulky umbrella clutched in his left hand. You weren't supposed to dodge that, he said, tilting the umbrella toward them. Guy, who had seen everything, accelerated, leaving Lee and Neji trailing to close in. The stranger squeezed the umbrella's handle. With tiny mechanical clicks, Senbin shot from the umbrella and pierced the legs of both the merchant and Tenten. Tenten's vision blurred. Wah, what was that? She slurred, then blacked out. The man moved in, raising the umbrella to finish them, but Guy reached him in time and slammed a kick into the umbrella. The umbrella took the impact, and the attacker was hurled back a few paces. Tenten, get up, Guy shouted, rolling the merchant off her and shaking her. The man pushed himself to his feet and looked them over dismissively. A Konoha shinobi, he said with a smirk. Figured you'd show up on your way back. Guy charged. He and the man traded blows, Guy's powerful strikes met nimble evasion. When Guy threw him down, the man popped up and kept defending. If you don't stop, she dies. The man taunted between parries, confident that a single clean hit would end him. What did you do to her? Guy demanded, teeth clenched. He held back from finishing the man, he needed answers. I poisoned her, the man announced. Now stop. Fix her now, only if you surrender. Guy hesitated, every muscle taut. I surrender, you give the antidote. I give you my word, the man said smoothly. Guy lowered his arms, wary. The man watched him for a beat, and then, with a contemptuous laugh, thrust Senbin into Guy's abdomen. Guy went down to his knees, winded and betrayed. Most unyouthful, the attacker sneered. I am Ai Rokusho, I don't keep my word with Konoha shinobi. Lee and Neji had arrived just then. Lee wanted to rush in, but Neji held him back. Guy's hand was signaling in their team code. It took only a moment for Lee to understand. Call for backup, Neji said. He wants us to send word to Konoha. But we can't leave them. We aren't, Neji snapped. We'll send for help and follow at a distance. He and Lee watched as several large men emerged from the trees and hauled Guy and Tenten away, carrying them toward the camp. Using Neji's Byakugan, they tracked the captors from a safe distance, fingers numb with the hope that reinforcements would arrive quickly, or that they could rescue them themselves. The next day, the two stayed hidden near the bandit camp. The previous night's stealthy infiltration had paid off. They'd overheard talk of a ransom. The bandits planned to sell Guy if Konoha didn't pay his price. Someone had already ransomed the merchant back to his family for 100,000 ryo. The boss, however, wanted Guy and Tenten kept alive, immobilized and helpless with the toxin in the senbin, so escape was impossible. Don't worry, Lee, Neji said quietly. The bird should have reached Konoha with our request. Backup should be on its way. I hate not knowing what's happening to them, Lee muttered. They'll be fine for now. They're in a cage at the back of the tent. The boss keeps them paralyzed. Neji's eyes flicked over the tents. We just have to wait. And wait. Lee's impatience trembled in his voice. It's impossible, a 6-day trip even for a fast shinobi messenger. Before Neji could finish arguing, a figure rocketed toward them, kicking up a blast of dust with each impact. Incoming, Lee and Neji dove aside. Boom! Naruto landed in a crouch, the earth roaring from his arrival. Yugao stumbled out of his arms, collapsing to her knees and kissing the dirt. Sweet, sweet ground, she whispered, oddly reverent. Lee and Neji stared, bewildered at Yugao's dramatic behavior. What did you do to her? Neji asked, narrowing his eyes. She's being overdramatic, Naruto said, brushing the question off. You jumped here in 5, Neji began. 3 of those made big explosion noises. The last carried you over an ocean. Yeah, the sound barrier, Neji finished. Exactly that, Yugao gasped. My organs felt like they'd fall out. Sorry, Naruto offered sheepishly, rubbing his head. Yugao pushed through the embarrassment and stood. Team Yugao reporting in, tell us what happened. She stayed composed, though she moved gingerly. Lee and Neji explained what they'd learned. Yugao listened, noting every detail, then nodded. I see, you did well getting this far, she said. Where is the camp? We'll show you. The 4 set out, though Yugao lagged until she admitted her legs had gone numb. 15 minutes later she was steady, if still careful, and they reached the camp. Neji surveyed the enemy formation through his Byakugan. 108 bandits. 1 Jonin, 2 Chunin, 5 Genin. They wear hidden rain headbands. Yugao's gaze hardened. Naruto, can you handle the big one? She asked, looking to him. Naruto blinked. His eyes glowed violet for a moment, then shifted to red, the pupils narrowing. His voice dropped on the last syllable, deep and playful. Of course I can. Yugao glanced at Neji and Lee. You two take the rest of their ninja. I'll handle AI. Yes, ma'am, the 2 boys answered at once. All right, we attack in 10 minutes. Yugao checked her gear with a tired smile. Lee pumped a fist. Neji simply adjusted his stance. This will be fun, Naruto murmured, a low chuckle in his throat that sent a ripple of unease through the others. Inside the camp, AI had been dozing when the alarm bell rang. He stormed out of his tent, blade already in hand. A flash of steel sliced through the air where his neck would have been had he not ducked. More Konoha trash, he spat. Speak for yourself, a woman's voice said. A purple-haired woman, Yugao Yuzuki, stood before him. The least you could do is tell me the name of the one I kill, AI smiled. Yugao Yuzuki, she replied, blade steady. Remember it. Without another word she attacked. Back outside the tent ring, Neji, Lee, and Naruto dropped into the camp center with controlled force. What happened to stealth, Blondie? Neji grumbled. Relax, Naruto said, grinning. This is more fun. I agree, Lee added, cracking his knuckles and rushing the 5 Genin blocking them. Neji moved toward the 2 Chunin with a quiet, deadly calm. Naruto turned to the remaining bandits, his tone light, eyes sharp. Before we begin, he called out, who here has the best health coverage? A bandit charged him, teeth bared, and the fight erupted. It's gotta be amazing, Naruto shouted as he sprinted forward. To him, it felt as if the world had slowed to a crawl, everyone except himself barely moving. When he reached the first bandit, he threw a single, effortless punch. Whoosh. The force sent the man's body collapsing inward before detonating in slow motion. Naruto didn't pause, already moving on to the next, while keeping an eye on Lee and Neji, both holding their ground against their own opponents. By the time 50 bandits had fallen, Lee had already disabled 3 Genin, leaving their bodies mangled in different ways, and Neji had snapped the neck of a Chunin. Maybe I should speed things up a bit, Naruto thought, standing still. His perception was so fast that it took tens of seconds for the blood of a single bandit to hit the ground. To him, it was like standing in a frozen rainstorm of crimson. To everyone else, Naruto moved faster than the eye could follow. Each punch detonated another bandit, one after another. Lee and Neji exchanged a glance, both silently agreeing to deal with their panic later. They had a fight to finish. Meanwhile, Yugao and AI were locked in a tense duel. After a few minutes, AI realized he was outmatched and unleashed his secret weapon, a blade of pure lightning chakra. The blade of the Thunder God shifted the battle in his favor, until a stray punch from Naruto sent a bandit's head flying, a drop of blood landing on Ai's face. That brief distraction was enough for Yugo to slice him cleanly in half. Ugh! He coughed blood as his body fell apart, another slash separating his head entirely. Yugo muttered to herself, I really need to get back in shape. That should have been over faster. She sealed Ai's head and blade into a scroll, and after searching his remains, found a small vial. With it in hand, she went to where Neji had said Guy and Tenten were being held, delivered the counteragent, and guided them outside to the center of the camp. There, Naruto, shirtless, was trying to scrub the blood from his clothes. Neji and Lee peeked nervously from inside nearby boxes. Naruto, didn't I tell you not to scare the others like that? Yugo called. Huh? Naruto looked up, spotting Neji and Lee ducking quickly. Then, noticing the sheer volume of blood covering the camp, he realized maybe he had gone a bit too far. Oops. It took Yugo and Guy 10 minutes to coax Lee and Neji out. You promise he won't explode us? Neji asked warily. We swear, Naruto muttered, feeling slightly guilty. And from that point, he vowed not to let anyone else get hurt by his attacks. After settling everyone down, Team Guy and Yugo went their separate ways. All right, Yugo-sensei, hang on, Naruto began. No, this time we take the boat. Awa, the boat's boring, Naruto whined. Yugo chuckled as he turned away. She wasn't entirely sure she wanted to continue as his Jonin sense, but maybe she'd stick around a bit longer. Things couldn't get much stranger than this, right? A month of grueling training and endless, D-rank, chores later, Team 7 finally earned their first real C-rank mission. That's when trouble began. At the Hawkage's tower, they were ready to accept a D-rank mission when Kakashi spoke up. Hawkage-sama, may I request a C-rank instead? He asked casually. What? Kakashi-senpai, they've only been genin for a month, Uruka protested. And, Kakashi replied, they aren't ready, the minimum for a C-rank is 3 months. Hiruzen-sama, I believe that's Kakashi's decision, Hiruzen said. Sighing, Uruka stepped aside. Yes, Hawkage-sama, Hiruzen nodded. Very well, we do have a C-rank escort mission ready. He handed a scroll to Kakashi and lit his pipe, glancing at the 4 students. Sai seemed more relaxed than before, Sakura hadn't changed much, and Sasuke no longer scowled constantly. He seemed calm, confident, almost content. And Uchiha at ease. Either I'm dreaming or I ate one of Shikaku's brownies again, Hiruzen muttered. Take this mission, Hokage-sama, Kakashi confirmed. Very well, Uruka, fetch the client, I'll man the desk. Yes, sir. Left alone, the 4 prepared. How's Naruto doing? Kakashi asked. Chuckles, he's fine aside from testing Yugo's patience constantly. Is Yugo-sensei really okay? Sakura worried. Oh, she's fine. She drags Kurenai and Anko out drinking whenever she returns. Besides that, all good. Team 7 exchanged skeptical glances. Moments later, Uruka returned with an old man in a straw hat, smelling faintly of alcohol. Tazuna-san, this is Team 7. They'll escort you home, Hiruzen announced. Wait, I paid for actual ninjas, not an emo, a pink-haired girl, some pale kid, and whatever that is, Tazuna grumbled, ignoring the polite introductions. If you're unsatisfied, you can pay more or go alone. Your choice, Hiruzen said sternly. Tazuna, sweating, muttered, fine, the sake must be talking. Kakashi gave the order, pack for a 2-week mission, meet at the gate in an hour. Dismissed, Sakura immediately dragged Sai away for shopping. Sasuke left quietly to pack, following last. At the Konoha gates, Tazuna arrived late and immediately panicked, asking the Chunin about Team 7. They haven't shown yet, one answered. They're late, Tazuna spluttered. No, only your sensei is late, Sai replied calmly. What did you just call me? Tazuna yelled. Don't mind, Sai, Sakura said, cheerfully extending her hand. I'm Sakura Haruno and this is Sai. Pleased to meet you, Tazuna-san. Tazuna shook her hand cautiously, glancing at Sai twitching in the background. A few minutes later, Sasuke appeared, Kakashi in tow. I found him at a magazine stand again, Sasuke explained. What do you mean again? Tazuna groaned. Getting lost on the road of life, Sai shrugged. We call it being a lazy bum. It's gotta be amazing, Naruto shouted as he sprinted forward. To him, it felt as if the world had slowed to a crawl, everyone except himself barely moving. When he reached the first bandit, he threw a single, effortless punch. Whoosh! The force sent the man's body collapsing inward before detonating in slow motion. Naruto didn't pause, already moving on to the next, while keeping an eye on Lee and Neji, both holding their ground against their own opponents. By the time 50 bandits had fallen, Lee had already disabled 3 genin, leaving their bodies mangled in different ways, and Neji had snapped the neck of a Chunin. Maybe I should speed things up a bit, Naruto thought, standing still. His perception was so fast that it took tens of seconds for the blood of a single bandit to hit the ground. To him, it was like standing in a frozen rainstorm of crimson. To everyone else, Naruto moved faster than the eye could follow. Each punch detonated another bandit, one after another. Lee and Neji exchanged a glance, both silently agreeing to deal with their panic later. They had a fight to finish. Meanwhile, Yugao and Ai were locked in a tense duel. After a few minutes, Ai realized he was outmatched and unleashed his secret weapon, a blade of pure lightning chakra. The blade of the Thunder God shifted the battle in his favor, until a stray punch from Naruto sent a bandit's head flying, a drop of blood landing on Ai's face. That brief distraction was enough for Yugao to slice him cleanly in half. Ugh! He coughed blood as his body fell apart, another slash separating his head entirely. Yugao muttered to herself, I really need to get back in shape. That should have been over faster. She sealed Ai's head and blade into a scroll, and after searching his remains, found a small vial. With it in hand, she went to where Neji had said Guy and Tenten were being held, delivered the counteragent, and guided them outside to the center of the camp. There, Naruto, shirtless, was trying to scrub the blood from his clothes. Neji and Lee peeked nervously from inside nearby boxes. Naruto, didn't I tell you not to scare the others like that? Yugao called. Naruto looked up, spotting Neji and Lee ducking quickly. Then, noticing the sheer volume of blood covering the camp, he realized maybe he had gone a bit too far. Oops. It took Yugao and Guy 10 minutes to coax Lee and Neji out. You promise he won't explode us? Neji asked warily. We swear, Naruto muttered, feeling slightly guilty. And from that point, he vowed not to let anyone else get hurt by his attacks. After settling everyone down, Team Guy and Yugao went their separate ways. All right, Yugao-sensei, hang on, Naruto began. No. This time we take the boat. Awa, the boat's boring, Naruto whined. Yugao chuckled as he turned away. She wasn't entirely sure she wanted to continue as his Jonin-sensei, but maybe she'd stick around a bit longer. Things couldn't get much stranger than this, right? A month of grueling training and endless D-rank chores later, Team 7 finally earned their first real C-rank mission. That's when trouble began. At the Hawkage's tower, they were ready to accept a D-rank mission when Kakashi spoke up. Hawkage-sama, may I request a C-rank instead? He asked casually. What? Kakashi-senpai, they've only been genin for a month, Uruka protested. And, Kakashi replied, they aren't ready, the minimum for a C-rank is 3 months. Hiruzen-sama, I believe that's Kakashi's decision, Hiruzen said. Sighing, Uruka stepped aside. Yes, Hawkage-sama, Hiruzen nodded. Very well. We do have a C-rank escort mission ready. He handed a scroll to Kakashi and lit his pipe, glancing at the 4 students. Sai seemed more relaxed than before, Sakura hadn't changed much, and Sasuke no longer scowled constantly. He seemed calm, confident, almost content. And Uchiha at ease. Either I'm dreaming or I ate one of Shikaku's brownies again, Hiruzen muttered. Take this mission, Hawkage-sama, Kakashi confirmed. Very well. Uruka, fetch the client, I'll man the desk. Yes, sir. Left alone, the 4 prepared. How's Naruto doing? Kakashi asked. Chuckles, he's fine aside from testing Yugao's patience constantly. Is Yugao-sensei really okay? Sakura worried. Oh, she's fine. She drags Kurenai and Enko out drinking whenever she returns. Besides that, all good. Team 7 exchanged skeptical glances. Moments later, Uruka returned with an old man in a straw hat, smelling faintly of alcohol. Tazuna-san, this is Team 7. They'll escort you home, Hiruzen announced. Wait, I paid for actual ninjas, not an emo, a pink-haired girl, some pale kid, and whatever that is, Tazuna grumbled, ignoring the polite introductions. If you're unsatisfied, you can pay more or go alone. Your choice, Hiruzen said sternly. Tazuna, sweating, muttered, fine, the sake must be talking. Kakashi gave the order, pack for a 2-week mission, meet at the gate in an hour. Dismissed, Sakura immediately dragged Sai away for shopping. Sasuke left quietly to pack, following last. At the Konoha gates, Tazuna arrived late and immediately panicked, asking the Chunin about Team 7. They haven't shown yet, one answered. They're late, Tazuna spluttered. No, only your sensei is late, Sai replied calmly. What did you just call me? Tazuna yelled. Don't mind Sai, Sakura said, cheerfully extending her hand. I'm Sakura Haruno and this is Sai. Pleased to meet you, Tazuna-san. Tazuna shook her hand cautiously, glancing at Sai twitching in the background. A few minutes later, Sasuke appeared, Kakashi in tow. I found him at a magazine stand again, Sasuke explained. What do you mean again? Tazuna groaned. Getting lost on the road of life, Sai shrugged. We call it being a lazy bum. Hey, that's no way to talk to your sensei, Kakashi exclaimed. Then prove us wrong, came the lazy reply. Honestly, not really bothered, the boy shrugged. Collective Sai, are we ready to move? Kakashi asked. Yes, sir, the team shouted in unison. All right, Kakashi ordered. Sasuke, you take the lead. Sakura, you're with me in the middle. Sai, cover the rear. Let's go, team. The group, along with Tazuna, had been trekking for hours under the blazing sun of the Land of Fire. They reached a small puddle in the middle of the path. After stepping over it, they continued, but suddenly, a chain lashed out, wrapping around Kakashi and tearing him apart. Shriek! Tazuna-san. Calm down, Sasuke growled, his eyes locked on the two ninjas attacking their sensei. One down, 4 to go. One of the assailants shouted, sprinting toward the rest of Team 7. They tried to ensnare Sasuke with the chain as they ran past. Dropping to his knees, Sasuke avoided the chain, grabbed it in the middle, threaded a kunai through a link, and pinned it to the ground. The tactic slowed the attackers, giving Sai time to conjure 2 ink lions to maul one of them, while Sakura launched kunai and shuriken at the other. Sakura's target managed to block the attacks, but his brother was not so lucky. Brother, no, Kakashi suddenly appeared, delivering a clothesline to the remaining ninja and locking him in a chokehold. Good job, team, he said with a thumbs up and a casual eye smile. Now are you going to answer my questions or take the other exit? Kakashi asked. I'm not saying a word. Snap. Fine, the other way it is, Kakashi muttered, dropping the lifeless body. All eyes turned to Tazuna. What? Why are you staring at me like that? He demanded. Are you going to explain why those ninjas were after you? Kakashi pressed. Tazuna laughed nervously. Why would they be after me? Kakashi shot Sai a look, then with exaggerated surprise said, Wow, those lions look pretty hungry. Wonder what might happen if we turned our backs for a second. Tazuna seemed to get the hint. Spill it, or the lions get to taste first, and the Hawkage gets the rest, Kakashi's eyes seemed to say. All right, fine. I'll tell you everything. After a long, detailed explanation, Kakashi muttered, We should probably call for backup. So, you're not leaving me alone out here? Tazuna asked. No. Even if you lied, I get why you did it, Kakashi said. Who would they send as backup, sensei? Sakura asked. Probably Yugo and Naruto, Kakashi replied. They're the village's emergency response team. But does this really count as an emergency? Sasuke questioned. Not yet, but if Gato hired more ninja, it could become one, Kakashi explained. What's the call, sensei? Sasuke asked again. Sai, send a bird to Konoha and alert the Hawkage. Hopefully Naruto and Yugo aren't busy, Kakashi instructed. Sai made an ink bird carry a scroll to the Hawkage. Cannon resumes up to the Zabuza fight. Kakashi struggled, trapped in a water sphere, drowning slowly while watching his students battle Zabuza of the Bloody Mist. Sasuke was holding his own against a water clone, with Sai's help. Then, a strange disturbance rippled through the air. Did anyone hear screaming? Sakura asked. Everyone, even Zabuza, nodded. Sasuke, having defeated the clone, looked up to see an orange blur descending at lightning speed. Shit, Dobi's incoming, hit the ground, Kakashi shouted. Everyone ducked except Zabuza, and obviously Kakashi. Naruto crashed down like a human freight train. Incoming, he shouted, landing with a shockwave that sent everyone flying a few feet, including Zabuza, freeing Kakashi. Once on their feet, they saw Naruto standing in a small crater holding a very pale Yugo. She shoved him away and collapsed, thankfully avoiding the ground kiss. Hey, Dobi, Sasuke shouted. What? Naruto turned. I thought you were supposed to be stealthy, Sasuke yelled. Maybe work on your landings. Lightning Country probably heard that. Flip off, Naruto responded. Bite me, and catch your stupidity. No thanks, are they always like this? Zabuza asked. Pretty much, Kakashi sighed. And she's his Jonin teacher. Sigh, unfortunately, Kakashi replied. Condolences, Zabuza muttered. She'll appreciate that, Kakashi said dryly. Naruto, Yugo finally said. Yes, he answered, still catching his breath. If you ever do that again, I'm revoking your ramen privileges. No ramen, Naruto froze. None, ever. Naruto started trembling, eyes wide. Well, entertaining as that was, time to get serious, Zabuza said. None taken, the other ninja agreed, minus Naruto, still in shock. Zabuza flickered toward Naruto, swinging his Kubikirabacho to cleave him in two. Naruto's left hand snapped up, catching the blade with ease. Zabuza struggled, but the blonde held firm. No, ramen, Naruto muttered. Zabuza stomped and tried to dislodge him, but the blade didn't budge. No more ramen, Naruto began tearing up. Blondie, let go, Zabuza shouted, swinging him around, but neither moved. Sniffle, Yugo-sensei, that's inhuman, how could you do that? Everyone watched, wide-eyed. Need a hand, Kakashi offered. Shut up, Zabuza growled. Sigh fine, Naruto, you can have ramen, just don't scar more genin like Team Guy. Deal, Yugo relented. Deal, Naruto cheered. Then he noticed Zabuza still struggling, bouncing 15 feet with each jump on the blade's handle. Naruto adjusted the sword, causing Zabuza to land painfully on it. High-pitched whine, Zabuza squealed. Everyone winced. Maybe we should just leave. I think he's had enough, Kakashi said, leading the group away with Tazuna, leaving Yugo and Naruto with Zabuza. I'm really sorry, Naruto apologized again. Minutes later, a hunter nin arrived to assist Zabuza, who was still in pain. Ice and sake, lots of it, Zabuza squeaked. The hunter nin rushed off to fulfill his orders. The group finally reached Tazuna's house after an hour, passing through the village under Gato's harsh rule. Everyone looks so sad, Sakura said, surveying the area. Starvation tends to do that, Kakashi replied. That's why I need to finish the bridge, Tazuna explained. Then we can trade with larger nations, support ourselves, and break Gato's monopoly. I doubt Gato will let you finish easily, Yugo said. He won't. That's why I hired ninja like you to escort and protect me, Tazuna said. And that's our job regardless, Kakashi added. Sigh and we stay until it's done, I guess, Yugo said. Pretty much, Kakashi agreed. After another 10 minutes, they arrived at Tazuna's home. Wait here, I'll tell my family you're here, Tazuna said, heading inside. Yugo-sensei, are you okay now? Sakura asked. Fine, Yugo smiled. Taps Naruto on the head, this idiot just gets overexcited. How is that possible? You're a Jonin, shouldn't you be faster? Sakura asked. Yugo's expression shifted in surprise. You'd think so. But Naruto moves faster than I do, she admitted. That's because you don't train enough, Yugo-sensei, Naruto muttered under his breath. Ah, I'm sorry. I'm not some endurance machine like you. If I were, maybe I could train the way you do, and jump so high and fast I'd break the sound barrier. Yugo Guy does that all the time too, Kakashi interjected. Does he do it without using chakra? Yugo asked, raising an eyebrow. Wait, what? Kakashi blinked. Sigh, exactly my reaction. Apparently, the blonde idiot here forgot that he could enhance his body with chakra. Over time, his body just adapted. Now he can move as fast as Guy without using any chakra at all. The other ninja's eyes widened as they stared at Naruto. Hey, Dobi, Sasuke finally spoke. What? Naruto replied casually. How did you forget you could even use chakra to boost yourself? Sasuke asked, incredulous. Mumbles under his breath, what was that? I said I slept through that lesson. All I saw was the older ninja leaping across rooftops, and it looked fun. I tried it, fell a lot. Eventually, I realized I just needed to get stronger, so I worked out extra hard. That's why I can jump and move like this now. So, you're not using chakra at all? Sakura asked, intrigued. I try not to, Naruto admitted. Why? Sai asked curiously. He chuckled lightly. Because I can't control my own strength. My punches, they're too powerful if I use it. Just then, Tazuna opened the door. Good, you're all still here. I was worried you'd leave. Not until the mission's finished, Kakashi replied calmly. Good, come in. My daughter and grandson are in the living room. Tazuna led them inside, where Tsunami and Inari rose from the sofa to greet them. Inari had to be prompted to say hello. Hello, I'm Kakashi Hadake, Jonin of Team 7. With me are Sasuke Uchiha, HNN, Sakura Haruno. Hi, and Sai. Hello, Sai added politely. Nice to meet you all, Tsunami said, bowing slightly. I'm Yugo Yuzuki Jonin, and this is Naruto Uzumaki Genin. We're the Konoha Emergency Response Team. Nice to meet you, Yugo-san, Naruto-san, she repeated, bowing again. He dropped the san. Just call me Naruto, he said cheerfully. Okay, Naruto, she smiled back. Why are you here anyway? You're not heroes, you can't protect anyone. What did you say? Naruto asked. I said you are not heroes, you can't protect anyone, so why are you here? We were hired by Tazuna-san to guard him while he finishes the bridge, Sakura explained. That's it, you're just here for money. Then take it and leave before Gato kills you, Inari shouted. Look kid, it's been a long day. Let's all sleep and talk tomorrow, Kakashi suggested. Oh, right. I'll show you where you'll be staying tonight, Tsunami said, leading them upstairs. Inari clenched his fists and glared until they were out of sight, then dashed outside. Only Naruto noticed. Great, another emo kid to deal with, Naruto thought. Next morning, what do you mean they haven't learned tree walking yet? Yugo yelled at Kakashi over breakfast. Sai, can you not scream so early? Kakashi muttered. Kakashi, what have you even been teaching them? Yugo demanded. They've been doing teamwork exercises, and Naruto started them on a new training routine, Sakura explained. Yugo's glare sharpened, and Kakashi began to sweat. What kind of training? The same one Naruto started, Sakura leaned closer to whisper. Before he went overboard, that is. Groaned Sakura, wake the boys and have them meet me outside, Yugo said, exasperated. Yes, sensei, Sakura went upstairs. Kakashi, you're an amazing ninja, maybe one of the best. But you aren't much of a teacher, Yugo muttered, leaving the house. Kakashi remained seated until the genin lined up outside. Then he followed them in silence. Yugo addressed them. Sasuke, Sakura, Sai, you stay with me. I'll help improve your chakra control. Naruto, you'll guard Tazuna, understood? Yes, ma'am, they replied in unison. Kakashi, Yugo added. Yes, you go with Naruto. Sai, fine. Kakashi agreed, leaving the group for Tazuna. 6 days later, during dinner with Team 7, Team Yugo, and the Tazuna family, Sakura noticed a picture she hadn't seen before. Who's this, Tsunami-san? She asked, pointing. That was my husband, Kaiza, Tsunami said, her voice trembling as she took the picture down. I'm sorry, Sakura said softly. Tsunami smiled. It's okay, you didn't know. No. You can't just, Inari began, but Tsunami cut him off. That's enough, Inari, she apologized, she scolded. Inari bolted outside. Inari, Tsunami cried, moving to follow, but Naruto stood up. I'll go get him, he said. Really, I should. I'll handle it, I just want to talk. Okay. Tsunami followed him into the woods. They found Inari sitting on a fallen tree by a pond, sobbing. I'll talk first, Naruto said. I don't know, Tsunami hesitated. I won't yell, Naruto reassured her. Tsunami nodded, waiting nearby. Naruto approached Inari quietly and sat down with his back to him. What do you want? Inari snapped. I just want to talk. I don't want to talk, leave. Then just listen, Naruto said, turning to meet his gaze. He was your father, whether by blood or not, he was also your hero. Don't act like you understand. You're from Konoha, you probably only worried about what to eat for dinner. Did you become a ninja to spite your parents? Naruto's eyes flickered red for a moment before returning to blue. You're right. My only worry back then was what I wanted for dinner. I had no one to cook for me, so I had to make my own meals. Inari was silent. I was an orphan. The only people who cared were my Jiji, the Hokage, and a father and daughter at a ramen shop. That was it until I became a ninja. Then I made friends, and I decided I would never lose the people I care about. Naruto got into a push-up position. I trained all day, every day to protect them. No matter how tired I was, I kept pushing so I wouldn't lose anyone like I lost my parents. I trained harder than I thought possible, and then even harder. His eyes briefly bled red, pupils slitting. I choose to keep pushing, and if I die protecting them, at least I gave everything I had. He crouched, meeting Inari's gaze. So, Inari, when the time comes, what will you choose? Fight to protect those you love, or watch as everything is taken? Naruto stood, leaving the clearing silently. Tsunami stayed behind, watching her son. Inari returned half an hour later. With Naruto instead of returning home, Naruto wandered through the woods, reaching a river after 20 minutes. This must lead to the bridge, he guessed. Partially correct, a voice replied. A woman in a pink kimono sitting nearby revealed herself. Oh, I didn't know anyone was here. I came to clear my head. Can I stay or should I go? You can stay. Thanks, I'm Naruto Uzumaki. Nice to meet you. Giggle, I'm Haku. Nice to meet you, Naruto-san. Just call me Naruto, I hate formalities. Very well, Naruto, she replied with a smile. Next day Naruto overslept, so Yugo and Team 7 went to the bridge without him and Kakashi. Mist hung over the bridge and the workers lay unconscious. Form up, team, Yugo ordered. The genin took their positions with Kakashi and Yugo at the front. 2 sets of footsteps echoed through the mist. 2 figures appeared, Zabuza Mamachi and a masked ninja. Where's the blonde brat, Kakashi? He's the only one I care about. Zabuza growled, his eyes narrowing. He's not here, Zabuza. You'll have to make do with us, Kakashi replied calmly. He and Yugo stepped forward, ready to face the threat. Kakashi lifted his headband, revealing his Sharingan, while Yugo unsealed her latest weapon. Is that the second sword? Kakashi asked in surprise. Yep, Yugo confirmed. How did you get it? The Hokage offered it as a bribe to keep me on as Naruto's sensei, she said casually. Ah, I see. With that, the two rushed at Zabuza. Meanwhile, Haku silently approached the genin. Greetings, I am Haku. I've come for Tazuna-san, please step aside. Sasuke's lips curled into a defiant smirk. Not a chance. He pulled a kunai from his pouch and charged forward, while Sai sent his ink creations as backup. Tazuna's house inside. Naruto stirred awake at the sound of shouting. Let go of my mother, followed by the sharp sound of a slap. The little brat stabbed me. That was Naruto's cue. Time seemed to slow as he accelerated. In a blur, he got dressed and leapt out the window, landing behind the man holding Tsunami by the throat. He grabbed the assailant's arm, twisting it sharply. Crack! The man's scream was caught in his throat as Naruto covered his mouth and launched him into the air. At the peak, Naruto pushed him away and landed a precise flip kick. Though the man barely moved now, Naruto knew the fight was over. Snatching the knife aimed at Inari, Naruto gripped it by the blade and snapped it in half, then delivered a powerful uppercut, sending the man soaring. Time returned to normal. One assailant flew into the nearby woods at impossible speed, while the other vanished into the sky entirely. Naruto turned to Inari, who stood bruised but determined, a small knife clutched in his hand. I knew you had it in you, Naruto said with a grin. Inari returned the smile. Tsunami-san, where is everyone? They went with my father to the bridge. All right, I'll go there. Can you hide somewhere? Yes. A friend in the village can shelter us for a while. Do that then. Naruto paused, a teasing grin forming. Hey, Inari. Yeah, you protected your mother, that makes you a hero, huh? With a burst of speed, Naruto was gone. My hero, Tsunami squealed, planting a kiss on Inari's head. Mom, let me go. Back at the bridge, Sasuke was trapped in Haku's ice mirror dome, covered in senbon but standing firm. Sai had been knocked out trying to intervene. I asked you to step aside, Haku said calmly. Panting, Sasuke's single Tamo Sharingan blazed. I can't step aside, not if I want to be a ninja. Even with vision enhanced, his body struggled to keep up. Meanwhile, Kakashi and Yugo cornered Zabuza, pushing the seasoned ninja to his limits. I'm sorry about this, Haku murmured, aiming a senbon at Sasuke. Smash! Naruto burst through the mirrors, catching Haku by the arm and slamming them to the ground. Sorry about this too, Naruto said before Haku kicked off the ground, escaping into the mirrors. Now you're trapped in here with me. Naruto's eyes glinted red, a slit pupil forming. Haku leapt from mirror to mirror, but no matter how many Naruto destroyed, he kept appearing. Naruto's speed became a blur of orange light, impossible to follow. He's avoiding direct hits, Haku realized. Finally, Naruto anticipated every mirror jump. With a bonk, he knocked Haku out cold in the center of the dome, tossing aside the senbon he'd caught mid-chase. He lifted Sasuke and Sai, carrying them out of the melting ice prison. Don't expect thanks, Dobi, Naruto muttered. And don't expect me to apologize, Sasuke snapped. Naruto handed them to Sakura, still guarding Tazuna. Thank you, Naruto, she said with a relieved smile. Anytime, Sakura-chan, suddenly clapping echoed. Even Yugo, Kakashi, and Zabuza paused to locate the sound. Bravo. Excellent work. A short, gray-haired man in a suit called out. What do you want, Gato? I'm handling this, Zabuza growled. That's just it, you're not. So I decided to keep my promised money and hand it to these fine gentlemen instead. Hundreds of men emerged from the mist. Kakashi relaxed. Well then, no fight needed, but that blonde brat still owes me an ass-kicking. Zabuza recalled their first encounter. Completely understandable. Hey, Tazuna, Gato called. I have nothing to say to you. Where's your daughter? Give her to me and you'll never work again. I'll die first, you bastard. Fine, then she's mine, Gato laughed. Yugo sat down in shock. That little brat, did he just threaten tsunami? Before anyone could respond, an overwhelming killing intent descended. Oh, so you're Gato. I am, who are you? My name is Naruto Uzumaki, genin of Konoha. A genin. Laughs, you had me worried. Zabuza, clear the mist, Yugo ordered. Why would I listen to you, brat? You're about to witness something very few have ever seen, Yugo warned. A serious Naruto, Kakashi's interest piqued. Yes. Only because I'm curious, Kakashi muttered, performing hand signs to disperse the mist. Across the bridge, Gato and his men faced Naruto alone, with the Jonin having circled behind him. Hey Sakura, Naruto called, stepping forward. Yeah, best look away for a sec. I'm a Kunoichi of Konoha, if they watch so can I. Don't say I didn't warn you, Gato roared. Enough, get him. Bring me their heads. Naruto Uzumaki, serious knife hand. Naruto swung, obliterating every enemy in his path. Over 3 miles of trees were reduced to splinters. Inari and the villagers arrived from the opposite side. Hey, Naruto. We'll fight for what we care about. Naruto gave a thumbs up as his voice and eyes returned to normal. So that's why you drank so much? Kakashi asked. Yeah, Zabuza and Yugo exchanged glances. What the hell just happened? Don't ask, maybe after some sake, Yugo said. Fine, I'm coming. A few bottles wouldn't hurt, Zabuza muttered. Wait for me, Kakashi added. Yugo-sensei, Naruto sighed. Can you help clean this up? Nope, hero cleans up their own mess, she replied. Damn it, Naruto groaned. After the bridge battle, Zabuza and Haku stayed in the inn until the Konoha ninja left, making occasional trips out, mostly for Zabuza's sake. Naruto discovered something interesting while wandering town. He literally bumped into Haku. They exchanged a few words and Haku mentioned heading toward Tazuna's house. Let's go together, Naruto cheered. As they walked, they ran into Sakura and Sai in the small town. Oh, hey Haku. Hey Naruto, what's up? Sakura asked. Heading to Tazuna's house, Naruto replied. Mind if we join? Sakura asked. Not at all, Sakura-san, Haku said. Thanks, Sai, don't be rude, say hello. Sakura snapped. Hello, dickless, hello, flatches. Wham, Sai's insult was cut off as Haku stomped past, sending Sai sprawling. Sakura and Naruto exchanged a look, then stared down at Sai. I thought you were the only one who said stuff like that, Sakura-chan, Naruto muttered. Scoff. He deserved it. Who insults a woman's body like that? Wasn't Haku a guy, though? Naruto, I'm not trying to be mean, but are you not thinking straight? Sakura replied, exasperated. No, then why would you assume Haku is a guy? He told me he was, Naruto said, scratching his head. Sai, never mind, just know Haku isn't a guy. How can you tell? I've seen the bandages she uses to cover her chest. OHOH. Whoa, are you imagining Haku right now, Naruto? Sakura asked, eyes narrow. No, of course not. Okay. Sakura chirped, then bent down, grabbed Sai by the ankle, and started dragging him toward Tazuna's place. I'd hate to be the one who has to tell Hinata she's got competition, she muttered. What was that, Sakura-chan? Naruto asked. Nothing, forget it, Naruto. The small group walked until Tazuna's house came into view. At the entrance, Yugo, Kakashi, Zabuza, and Haku stood talking. Yugo-sensei, we're back, Naruto called. Good, then we can leave now. Yugo said simply. But the mission, Naruto began. That's what I discussed with Kakashi. We're heading back to the village. He and Team 7 will remain to finish the job. Yugo explained. Why leave now? Naruto demanded. That's because of us, kid, Zabuza said flatly. What do you mean? Naruto blinked. I asked Yugo if you two would escort us to Konoha. She agreed, on the condition we visit your Hokage immediately. Zabuza replied. Why would you go to Konoha? Naruto asked. Is that a problem, Naruto-san? Haku asked calmly. No, no, it's fine, I just worry, that's all. You're from another village, Naruto stammered. Technically, I was a ninja. Haku never attended the academy. I'm a rogue, no longer part of Kirigakure's forces. So going to Konoha shouldn't be an issue unless someone tries to collect my bounty, Zabuza said. That won't be a problem while you're with us. I can get you into the village without trouble. Besides, no half-witted shinobi would pick on Naruto. Yugao leaned closer to Zabuza. There was an incident a few weeks ago. I'll tell you later, she murmured. Right, Zabuza grunted. Haku approached Naruto and took his hand. Come on, Naruto-san, I'll help you pack. She tugged him toward the house. Sakura, Hinata's not going to like this, Sakura mumbled under her breath. What did you call me, Pinky? Zabuza asked. My name is Sakura and I said Hinata won't be happy about this. Sakura snapped. Who's Hinata? Why would I care? Zabuza asked, bemused, exasperated sigh. Hinata Hyuga. She's a classmate, she kind of has a crush on Naruto. A crush? Yugao raised an eyebrow. That seems mild. Slight, Yugao-sensei, Hinata's more than slightly into him. She doesn't take rivals well. Sakura pressed. I thought they weren't dating, Yugao said. They're not that I know of, but there's a reason none of the girls asked Naruto out when we were younger. Sakura's voice dropped. Oh, this sounds juicy. Tell us? Kakashi, who had been reading, looked up. Don't tell her I said anything, Sakura begged. Promise. They all said, even Sai, who still pretended to be unconscious though he was fighting a smile. When Naruto was about 10, another girl in our class liked him. Sakura began. Hinata found out before she could say anything. And, Yugao leaned forward. Hinata is sweet until someone threatens her chance with Naruto. Then she turns into a kunoichi who won't back down. Sakura's tone hardened. What happened? Kakashi asked, curiosity piqued. We had an all-girls spar that day. Hinata challenged the girl who liked Naruto. It was a short fight, Hinata tore her apart. After that, no one else wanted to risk asking Naruto out. Sakura said, shivering at the memory. Hinata. Our Hinata Hyuga scarred the whole class so badly nobody would ask Naruto out. Yugao sounded stunned. Exactly. That's why most of us pretended not to notice him. She's terrifying when Naruto's involved. Sakura replied. Kakashi and Yugao burst out laughing at Sakura's dramatic delivery. Zabuza just scowled, baffled, while Sai twitched, trying not to crack up. What's so funny? Sakura demanded. That was a good one, Yugao said through laughter, wiping her eye. You had us for a second. Best joke I've heard in a while, Kakashi added, chuckling. It's not a joke. Hinata really is scary, Sakura protested. Sure, Yugao laughed. Never mind, you'll see one day. Sakura stomped into the house. Yugao-sensei, what was that about? Naruto asked as he and Haku stepped back outside. Don't worry about it, Naruto. Sakura was just telling a story. Ready to go? Yugao asked. Already said bye to everyone. Naruto grinned. Good, Kakashi, no slacking off, understood, Yugao snapped. Yeah. Travel safe. Kakashi ducked back into the house, dragging Sai inside as well. Let's go, Ikaraku's awaits, Naruto cheered. Groan, don't you ever think about anything but ramen, Yugao muttered. What else is there? Naruto shrugged. Never mind. The four set off toward Konoha and ramen. Important business, apparently. Konoha, a week later after arriving in Konoha and fitting in a ramen stop, the group met with the Hokage. Zabuza explained his situation and asked to use Konoha as a temporary base until Kirigakure's civil unrest ended. In exchange, he offered to take missions for Konoha without pay. Two conditions, Hiruzen said finally. What are they? Zabuza asked, fingers tightening around his cup. First, you must be monitored at all times. That seems fair. And the second, you will teach a swordsmanship class once a week when not on a mission. What? Why? Zabuza barked. You're one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist. It would be foolish to let that skill go unused. Hiruzen replied calmly. Grown, fine, but no brats, only trained ninja in my class. Understood, Hiruzen smiled. Oh, and this. He reached beneath his desk and tossed a small black book to Zabuza. That's Konoha's list. Bring in anyone from this book and you'll receive their bounty. This isn't an official mission, you do it on your own time. Understood. Zabuza bowed slightly, then he and Haku left. If you'll excuse me, I have other matters, Hiruzen said. Yes, sir, Naruto and Yugo bowed and left the room. 2 days later, Naruto was doing push-ups on top of the Hokage rock when Yugo found him. "Naruto," she called. "Huh." He stopped and sat up. "Hey, Yugo-sensei." Naruto hopped to his feet. "I have to go on a mission outside the village for a few days. I'm sending you with Kurenai and Team 8 on an escort." Yugo announced matter-of-factly. "Why me? Because I don't trust leaving you unsupervised. The village might not survive my return," she said blandly. "Hey, I'm not that bad." "Oh, really?" She folded her arms. "Where were you this morning?" "Nowhere." "Then explain why I received an invoice for 15 new Anbu uniforms." "Hee hee, gotta go meet Kurenai, bye." Naruto leapt away. Snort. "Figures." With Hinata waited patiently with her team for the surprise reinforcement meant to help them on their first C-rank mission. Scoff. "Probably someone my father hired to watch over me," she thought, stung by the elder's whispers of weakness. "It's not that I'm weak, I just can't bring myself to hurt people." A little dark cloud seemed to hover above her. "What's wrong, Hinata-chan?" a voice she recognized said. "Naruto-kun," she squealed, then awkwardly tried to step back, only to trip and land on her backside in front of him. "Hinata-chan, are you okay?" Naruto cried, grabbing her hand to help her up. Hinata stared at the warmth of his hand. "He's so warm," she thought, her cheeks flushing red. "You're a little hot, Hinata-chan. Are you all right?" Naruto asked, removing his headband so his hair fell and pressing his forehead gently to hers. Inside Hinata's head, he said, "I was hot. Naruto-kun thinks I'm hot," her brain shorted out. "Naruto-san," someone's voice interrupted. They both turned. "Oh, hey, Haku, what brings you here?" Naruto greeted. "I'm leaving with Zabuza-sama. Mind chatting while I wait?" Haku asked. "Sure." Naruto smiled and walked over. Inside Hinata's mind, a storm brewed at the sight of Haku touching Naruto's arm. The jealous thoughts were fierce and sudden, ugly, frantic, and quickly silenced as reality took over. "All right, team and Naruto ready to go?" Kurenai asked, approaching with a dark-haired man at her side. "Yes, Kurenai-sensei," they responded in unison. "Good, this is Shibuki-san. He'll be our focus for this mission. Any questions?" "Where exactly are we headed, Kurenai-sensei?" Kiba asked. "Takigakure, the village hidden by the waterfall." "Any other questions?" "Will there be a fight?" Hinata asked nervously. "I don't think so," Kurenai replied cautiously. Tusk, Hinata's annoyance was palpable. "All right, any other questions?" "No." "Then let's move out, team." After about 10 minutes of walking, Hinata couldn't keep her curiosity to herself any longer. "So, Naruto-kun, that girl you were just talking to, who was she?" Naruto tilted his head, confused. That girl, you know, the one you were talking about." "Oh, that's Haku, my friend, she's amazing," Naruto replied enthusiastically. Snap. "Hinata-chan." "Oh, it's nothing, Naruto-kun," Hinata mumbled, trying to hide her blush. Naruto didn't notice the fist-sized dent in the tree she passed by, but Shino and Kiba did. Kiba leaned toward Shino. "Hinata's clearly upset about something," he whispered. "Yeah, I noticed," Shino replied calmly. Crash. Both turned to see the tree she had punched had toppled over. "Let's give her some time with Naruto. That should calm her down," Shino suggested. "You don't have to tell me twice," Kiba muttered. 2 days later, Hinata was on the verge of losing her mind. Naruto had been talking about her. Well, technically he'd only mentioned Haku twice since that first conversation, and both times it was because Kiba asked. Sure, if she were his teammate, it'd make sense. But she wasn't. Naruto had only known her for a couple of weeks. Fortunately, they were approaching Takigakure. Otherwise, Hinata might have strangled Kiba just to stop him from bringing up her. "Welcome to Takigakure, everyone," Shibuki said. "Shibuki-sama." A young girl with layered green hair and striking orange eyes ran toward them, wearing a white kunoichi outfit. "Hello, Fu, what brings you out here?" Shibuki asked. "I wanted to see you, Shibuki-sama." She smiled, but the grin faltered briefly when she noticed the others. It quickly returned. "Hi, I'm Fu, what are your names?" "Kurenai Yuhai, Jonin of Konoha," Kurenai introduced herself. "Kiba and Yuzuka Genin, and this is Akamaru, say hi, buddy." Kiba waved. "Arf," Akamaru barked and Fu waved back. "Naruto Uzumaki, Genin, nice to meet you." "Your eyes are really cool," Naruto said, making Fu giggle. Creek Hinata stepped forward, a strained smile on her face. "Hinata Hyuga, pleased to meet you." "Shino Aburame Genin, a pleasure," Shino said formally. Fu studied Shino for a moment, then stepped closer and sniffed the air. You smell like a bug, she stated matter-of-factly. Sigh, I'm aware. Giggle, I like you. Want me to show you where some rare bugs live? Sure, Shino allowed, and she tugged him along into the village. Groan sorry about that, Yuhai-san. Fu's a little different, Naruto muttered. The group entered the tunnel concealing the village entrance, eventually arriving at a massive waterfall. Please, just turn around for a moment, Shibuki instructed. Of course. Kurenai nodded, and the leaf ninja obeyed. Shibuki executed 20 hand signs before yelling, Kai! The ground trembled as the waterfall parted, allowing them to pass. Walking deeper into the village, a group of children ran up to Shibuki. Shibuki-sama! Hello. What are you doing out here? Isn't the academy still in session? The youngest, barely 4, shook her head. We were told to pick up trash. Trash, the eldest, around 10, stepped forward. There was an intruder earlier. They left a mess near the entrance. An intruder? Was anyone hurt? No, Shibuki-sama. They didn't reach the village, they were chased away. I see, Shibuki turned to Kurenai. Would you mind helping these children clean up? I don't want them venturing out unprotected. Of course. Payment can be sent later, Kurenai agreed. Shibuki instructed the children, show the ninja where the mess is and they'll help you clean. Understood? Yes, Shibuki-sama. Team 8 plus Naruto followed the children to the damaged road, spending hours cleaning and repairing it with earth jutsu. During a lunch break, Shino rejoined, face suspiciously red. En Naruto-kun, would you like to eat lunch with me? Hinata asked shyly. Sure, Hinata-chan, Naruto replied cheerfully. Hinata offered to share her lunch, but Naruto declined, insisting he only had ramen to offer in return. I don't want to take your food when I can only give ramen in return. But I like ramen, she blurted out. You do, Naruto's eyes lit up. He revealed a bag with over 10 different ramen flavors. Pick any you like, Hinata-chan. Whistle. Hinata's head started to steam from his grin. Oh, must be my imagination, Naruto muttered. Minutes later, the ground began to shake violently. Hinata's ramen spilled. I'll be right back, Naruto-kun, she said, activating her Byakugan and rushing into the forest. Hinata-chan, I have more ramen, Naruto called after her. Hinata dashed through the tunnel and waterfall, following the fighting sounds to find Shibuki facing 4 ninja. Hyuga-san! Go get help, Shibuki yelled. Hinata stood, hair covering her eyes. Which one of you caused that tremor? The gray-haired ninja stepped forward. What's the matter, brat, scared? He taunted. You spilled Naruto-kun's ramen, she snapped, eyes blazing. Leaping into action, she unleashed 8 trigrams, 64 palms. On the gray-haired ninja, dodging attacks and incapacitating all who tried to intervene. Panting, Hinata muttered, I've been trying for so long to have lunch with Naruto-kun, and you ruined it. She turned on the remaining attackers, who quickly apologized and were rendered immobile by her water needles. Finally, a little stress relief, Hinata sighed, returning to Naruto. He had prepared a fresh bowl of ramen. Here, Hinata-chan, you ran off so fast I thought I did something wrong. Giggle, no, it was just trash. Hey, you didn't stutter, Naruto cheered, grabbing her hands. Hinata, overwhelmed, fainted smiling. About 30 minutes later, Fu arrived. Hey Tilda, hey Fu, Naruto greeted. I'm here to let you know your mission is complete. Shibuki-sama sends his regrets. He couldn't see you himself, so I'm delivering the news, Fu explained, pulling Shino aside for a brief, teasing goodbye before leaving. The group glanced at each other, then back at Shino. Good job, Shino, Kurenai chuckled. See, congrats, Shino, Hinata muttered. Huh, what happened? Naruto asked. Nothing, the group replied in unison, walking away. Shino, however, silently thanked Naruto for the distraction. Knock, knock, Hiruzen looked up from his mission reports. Yes, Hokage-sama, Naruto Uzumaki is here to see you, the assistant announced. Ah, send him in, Hiruzen replied, pulling out a file labeled Uzumaki. The door creaked open, and Naruto stepped inside. He walked confidently toward Hiruzen's desk and snapped a crisp salute. At ease, Naruto, Hiruzen said calmly. You wanted to see me, Jiji? Naruto asked, tilting his head with curiosity. Hiruzen leaned back in his chair, eyes fixed on Naruto for a moment, before reaching for a file on his desk and flipping it open. According to reports, your physical capabilities are remarkable. Strength and speed are at least at a Jonin level. though your limits remain unclear. You've never shown any real strain while performing feats, like the move dubbed the serious knife hand that flattened over 3 miles of forest and wiped out hundreds of mercenaries. Your chakra remained steady before and after the attack. This suggests you are capable of far greater destruction than what has been observed. Hiruzen glanced back up at Naruto. Jiji, what was that? Naruto asked, a flicker of confusion crossing his face. That's from Yugao's regular Jonin report on you, Hiruzen explained. Wait, she's been watching me. Naruto's expression dropped slightly, a sting of hurt visible. No, it's routine. Every Jonin must submit a weekly report on their students. It helps me gauge each ninja's abilities, Hiruzen clarified. Oh, I see. So what else does it say about me? Naruto's tone had shifted from hurt to genuine curiosity. It also says, direct quote, Naruto is ready, in my opinion, to be promoted to Chunin at your discretion, Hokage-sama. Yada. I'm going to be a Chunin. Naruto leaped into the air, pumping his fists in triumph. Hiruzen chuckled softly. Not so fast, Naruto. Naruto froze mid-jump, eyebrows raised. The report says, at your discretion, Hokage-sama. And I don't think you're quite ready, not yet, Hiruzen said with a small, knowing smile. Awa, Jiji, Naruto groaned. There is a way to prove it, though, Hiruzen added, smirking. Anything, Jiji, I'll do whatever it takes, Naruto declared eagerly. Hiruzen laughed, then stood, walking toward a storage room next to his office. Follow me, he called. Naruto hurried to catch up. You know the Chunin exams start next week, right? Hiruzen asked. Yeah, Yugao-sensei mentioned it a few days ago, Naruto replied. Good, that'll save us some time, Hiruzen said as he opened the storage closet and began rummaging through the shelves. The Chunin exams can be complicated, Hiruzen said. How so? Naruto asked. They're joint events with all 5 great villages. That means foreign ninjas will be coming here. Oh, that sounds risky, Naruto said, frowning. Risky is putting it mildly. Old rivalries often surface, and despite the potential for trouble, the other villages encourage their ninjas to act out, Hiruzen explained. What? Why would they allow that? Naruto's eyes widened. Years ago, when the villages signed the treaty allowing any non-hostile village to join in exams, a rule was established. The hosting village enforces its rules, provided the participants aren't seriously harmed. Foreign cages don't interfere with enforcement, Hiruzen said, pulling a medium-sized box from the back shelf. And this has to do with me how? Naruto asked, tilting his head. Usually the ANBU handles security. This year someone else will, Hiruzen said, placing the box on his desk and opening it. Inside lay a blank-faced mask and a gray vest. You, Hiruzen said simply. What? Naruto's eyes bulged comically. You're in charge of security this year, Hiruzen said, a mischievous smile spreading across his face. Me. Really? Naruto blinked. Yes, Naruto Uzumaki, I give you full authority to prank anyone who steps out of line in our village, Hiruzen finished, his grin almost splitting his face. Naruto's eyes gleamed, a matching grin spreading across his face. Consider it done, Jiji, Hiruzen chuckled. That's my boy. A week later, teams 7 through 10 gathered at the academy. Team 9 arrived first, Team 7 last. So we're all here, huh? Sakura said, eyeing her teammates. Yep, nervous forehead, Ino teased. Not nearly as much as you are, Ino pig. Sakura snapped back, their bickering escalating quickly. Ladies, please, there's no need to, Lee began, only to be drowned out. Stay out of it, bushy brow, the two shouted in unison. Shikamaru looked over at Sasuke. Your team has an annoying girl too, huh? HNN, Sasuke nodded silently. Hey, she's the annoying one. They pointed at each other, continuing the feud. Some of the other rookie teams snickered, others outright laughed, while most focused on the upcoming trials. Those who mocked the Konoha ninjas soon got their comeuppance. You better watch your mouth, Kiba growled, stepping toward a taller rock ninja. Or else what? The rock ninja taunted. Kiba glanced around. Hey, Naruto. A little help, no response came. The rookies began scanning the area. Where's Naruto? Didn't he qualify for Chunin? Ino asked. Probably running late, Choji shrugged. I overheard Yugao-sensei and Kurenai-sensei talking, said Naruto had other plans this year, Shino added. Gah, Ino clutched her chest. Shino, you scared me, how long have you been here? Hinata tried to soothe him. Sorry, Shino, Ino muttered. Shino just waved it off. The stone ninja, frustrated, swung at Kiba. Suddenly, a masked figure in gray appeared, catching the punch effortlessly. No. Bad ninja, the masked ninja said, flicking him backward into a wall, mostly unharmed. Silence fell. Only the rookies recognized the figure by his spiky hair. Lesson 1. Don't attack unless instructed by a proctor, Ibuki's voice echoed. Hey, you can't let him get away with that, another rock ninja shouted. Your teammate broke the rules. Punishment has been dealt, Ibuki said. He's just a brat, security force. What's he guarding, a preschool? The ninja laughed. Careful, Sasuke muttered. He has a temper. The ninja swung again, striking at the masked figure, but Naruto didn't flinch. Shouldn't have done that, a calm voice said. Done what? The ninja asked. You shouldn't have pissed him off, Sasuke clarified. Before anyone could react, Naruto's arm shot out, grabbing the ninja's face. In the blink of an eye, the ninja reappeared moments later, covered in glue and feathers, a rubber beak strapped to his nose, screaming, "So much orange!" Lesson 2. Don't anger our security or this could be you. Now sit and be quiet, Ibuki commanded. My name's Ibuki Morino, first proctor. My assistant will distribute the exam sheets. Do not flip them until I give the order. Failure results in punishment, he continued. The exams began, tensions high. Crash, a window shattered. Smoke filled the room. A sign appeared on the wall, the sexy and single Anko Mitarashi. Below, smaller letters read, Blasphemer against ramen. Naruto, you little brat, one day you'll abandon ramen for dango, Anko screamed. The masked ninja appeared, flipped her off, then vanished again. Just you wait, brat. One day I'll drag you over to my side. Anko snapped. Anko, do you really have to do this right now? Ibuki groaned. Yes, I absolutely must. Naruto, that infuriating brat, had the audacity to scatter ramen packages all over my apartment this morning. And to make matters worse, her voice faltered, and her eyes glistened with tears. The other ninja exchanged glances, silently wondering what Naruto had done to upset her so. He threw out my dango. Anko's sobs filled the room, and the others looked awkwardly guilty. Damn it, Anko, pull yourself together, you have a duty to perform, Ibuki barked. But my dango, she whimpered. Fine. If it'll stop your whining, I'll buy you more dango after you start the next exam, all right? Her tears vanished instantly, replaced with determination, and she snapped back to business. I'm the proctor for the second exams. Meet me at training ground 44 in 10 minutes or you're disqualified. With a swirl of leaves, she vanished. The examinees hurried out, leaving Ibuki alone. I wonder if I can convince Yugo and Kurenai to cover the cost of her dango. She is their friend, after all, and Naruto is Yugo's student. He mused, stepping outside. Training ground 44, also known as the Forest of Death, is one of the deadliest places on the planet. And you brats, you're going in there for a full week, Anko said, casually picking her teeth with a dango stick. What? The genin shouted in unison. Now, no need to panic. Death is just one of its minor features, Anko said with a grin. What else is there? Ino asked nervously. Roar, the ground trembled and thunder rolled overhead. There are a few wild animals as well. Don't worry. Our security guard has generously volunteered to accompany you. Should things get dire, she held up a flare. You fire this into the air and help will arrive immediately. The genin's eyes shifted to a tied-up Naruto on the ground. A sign on his chest read, I will not cause my sensei to lose any more money. Right, volunteered, one of them muttered skeptically. And then what happens? A lightning ninja asked. You'll be escorted from the training ground and your team will be disqualified. So, it's fail or die, not much of a choice, the grass ninja muttered. You always have choices. In this case, 3, Anko held up 3 fingers. Fight and risk death. One finger went down. Run away. Another down. Or surrender and fail. Last one down. Decide who keeps the flare. That person may take one from the table. Minutes passed as the genin debated, forming a line to collect their flares. When you pick up a flare, also grab the stack of papers beneath it. Ino, assigned to hold her team's flare, examined the papers. What are these for? She asked. Legal stuff. They state that neither I nor Konoha are responsible for any injuries or deaths that occur during this exam, Anko said, smiling. Gulp oh, Ino muttered. Next, line up at the tent to my right. Inside, you'll receive a scroll. This scroll is your lifeline for the week. Don't lose it. Don't open it until you reach your end goal. And the end goal? A rock ninja asked, coughing nervously. You'll need to retrieve the scroll from an enemy team, then make your way to the center of the forest, Anko replied. Why the center? The rock ninja pressed. There's a tower there, that's where your third exam takes place. Any more questions? No, the teams chorused. All right, line up to receive your scrolls and find out your targets. Anko-sensei, target? Naruto asked. Oh, did I forget to mention? Only one team holds the scroll your team needs. It's up to you to retrieve it by any means necessary. Good luck, Anko chirped, then waved a dango stick under Naruto's nose. Never, I will not betray my ramen. For heaven's sake, it's just noodles. Gasp, blasphemer. You'll regret that. Nope, dango beats ramen any day. You'll pay for this. Ramen will lead me to salvation. Dango's better. Ramen, dango, Naruto smirked. Dango, ramen, dango wins. That's final, no ramen. I agree ramen is better. You little brat, dango wins. Meanwhile, the genin retrieved their scrolls. Team 7's target, Grass Ninja unlucky. Team 8, Rain Ninja. Team 9, Rock Ninja. Team 10, Lightning Ninja. Anko-san, the genin are ready. A Chunin interrupted the bickering. The two glared at each other. This isn't over, Blondie, Anko hissed. Likewise, you heathen, Naruto shot back. She picked up the microphone. The second exam begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. The gates opened, and teams charged in. You know the rules, Blondie. Only use the flare if necessary, Anko called after him. Yeah, Yugo-sensei already told me. Need me to cut you loose? Nah, just a clone. The real me's been in there since you left, poof. I'll get that brat, someday, Anko muttered. By the next day, 3 of 11 teams had been eliminated. 2 teams, Sunagara, Kankuro, Temari, and Team 9, arrived at the tower. One Grass Ninja team had been wiped out, leaving only a red-haired girl, Karin, resting under ANBU protection. The others had been found dead, their faces removed. Naruto's delivery ensured her safety, and the ANBU had questions for her. Anko dashed into the forest, searching for her former sensei. Meanwhile, Orochimaru, preoccupied, was being chased by Hinata. Yikes. Calm down, I only said the guard had a nice eye. Orochimaru, disguised as female, ran from an enraged Hinata, who was unamused by his attempt at distraction. Come back, you slippery snake, Hinata shouted. Shino whispered to Kiba, I thought she was the timid one. So did I, she scares you too, buddy, Kiba asked Akamaru, hidden in his hood. Wine, she scares me as well, Shino admitted. Orochimaru muttered to himself. Damn, that Hyuga's scary, just like the other obsessive one, what was her name? Shivers ran through him as a memory flashed. Right, her, still haunts me. But now, Sasuke-chan Team 7 ran through the forest, searching for the grass team, unaware Orochimaru was hunting them too. They paused on a massive branch. What's wrong, Sasuke-kun? Sakura asked. We'll rest here. No sense exhausting ourselves on day 2. They'll have to find us too, Sasuke replied. Chuckle, how right you are, Sasuke-chan. Orochimaru landed on the branch before them. Sasuke and Sai took battle stances, Sakura guarded their backs. Tell your teammates to come out, we'll do this properly, Sasuke demanded. Chuckled teammates, oh, this body's teammates dead. Dead? I'm not here for the exam. I'm here for you. Orochimaru revealed his true face, yanking off the Grass Ninja's mask. So you're breaking the rules? Sasuke asked. Yes, I knew you Uchiha could be dumb, but really? No, just making sure. Sasuke prepared his hand signs. Naruto, we have a rule breaker, he shouted, sending a massive fireball into the sky. Really, Sasuke-chan, calling for help, where's your pride? Orochimaru charged. Team 7 stood their ground. Fine, make this easy, wham. Orochimaru was tackled hard. The scrolls spun through the air and landed on the branch. Both Orochimaru and Naruto vanished. Sai pocketed the scroll, verifying it was the correct one. Shall we head to the tower? Right. Naruto held Orochimaru by the throat, racing through the forest. Only hours earlier, Anko had warned him about the intruder. When Sasuke yelled about a rule breaker, Naruto knew exactly who it was. Arriving at the Hokage Tower, he dove through the open window with Orochimaru. What the? Orochimaru shouted, kicking and punching to no effect. Sensei, I caught a rule breaker, Naruto said. So Naruto Orochimaru, what are you doing in my village? Chuckle, oh, Sensei. Long time no see, you've aged. And you've gotten even weirder. I'd rather be old. I'd rather be weird. Same, Naruto, don't side with the psychopath, Hiruzen glared. Hee, sorry, Jiji. Answer me, Orochimaru. What brings you here? Hiruzen rose from his desk and walked until he stood nose to nose with Orochimaru. Scary, sensei, you don't exactly look thrilled to see me. That's because I'm not, Hiruzen replied flatly, turning back toward his desk. Naruto, yes, Jiji. I made a promise to one of my students years ago. If I ever crossed paths with you again, Orochimaru, I wouldn't kill you myself. I intend to keep that promise, Naruto, you finish him. Understood, Jiji. Naruto's hands moved, one gripping Orochimaru's head, the other around his neck. Wait, don't kill M, ripping sound. In an instant, Naruto tore Orochimaru's head from his body. Flames erupted around both head and body, and a small note fell from his chest. Hiruzen picked it up and read aloud. Sorry, sensei. Immortality's a pain, see you soon. A crude drawing of Orochimaru giving the finger was scrawled at the bottom. Sai, why did all my students turn out this strange? I'm not strange, Jiji, Naruto replied casually. Sai, why did all my students and you turn out this strange? Maybe it's your fault, Jiji. You infected us with your weirdness. Naruto vanished in a blur of speed. Naruto. Back at the tower, the week ended with 7 teams passing their exams. Teams 7 through 10 made it. The Suna team passed on the first day, the Sound Ninja cleared their test, and a Konohagakure team of Kabuto, Misumi, and Yor also passed, though Kabuto forfeited immediately. 7 teams passed. I expected more casualties, Anko remarked. Yes, Anko, perhaps the exam wasn't as difficult as you imagined, Ibiki said. Funny, coming from the guy who allowed so many genin to advance. What does that say about you, Scarhead? Anko shot back. Enough, Hiruzen's voice cut through the tension. Yes, Hokage-sama, Hiruzen stood to address the genin. Congratulations on reaching this stage. But do not relax just yet. Because so many of you cleared the first 2 exams, the third has been postponed until next month. Today, however, a preliminary round will take place. What are we doing, Hokage-sama? Sakura asked nervously. Hiruzen gestured to a large blackboard. 2 names will appear on the screen. Those chosen will fight until one cannot continue, yields, or is defeated. Hate Gecko will serve as the proctor. Disobey him and you will be disqualified, understood? Yes, good, let the preliminaries begin. First match, Sasuke Uchiha versus Yor Akado. The 2 stepped into the arena. Ready for this, Uchiha? Yori sneered. Yan, can we skip the boasting and get on with it? Sasuke replied coolly. You should concentrate. It'd be a shame if your lack of focus hurt you, Yor warned. Whatever you say, Proctor, can we start already? Sasuke asked. Cough, are both fighters ready? I'm ready to kill you, Uchiha, Yori shouted. Sure, Sasuke answered. Cough, begin. They clashed immediately. Sasuke's Sharingan flared and Yori's hands glowed blue. Yori struck at Sasuke's head, but Sasuke ducked, only feeling a brush of his hair. Some of my chakra gone, Sasuke noted. Surprised, Uchiha, a mere touch and I can, Yori paused mid-explanation as Sasuke landed a sharp kick to his groin. Loud squeak, Yor fell to his knees. Sasuke stared down at him. Didn't anyone tell you not to talk during a fight? Sasuke remarked. Yor could only nod, speechless. HMPH. Should have listened. Sasuke's next kick sent Yori flying unconscious. Winner, Sasuke Uchiha, the crowd clapped hesitantly. Kakashi approached his student. Good fight, Sasuke. Thanks, sensei. Second match, Zaku Abumi versus Shino Aburame. They entered the arena. Don't hold back, Leaf Ninja, Zaku taunted. Shino remained silent. Scared, Leaf Ninja? Cough, are both fighters ready? Yes. Begin. Zaku immediately felt his chakra being drained. What did you do? He shouted, pressing his palms, but Shino remained calm. I'll handle this myself. Zaku tried a powerful technique, but his arms exploded in pain and he collapsed. Silence. Winner. Shino Aburame? Kiba asked afterward. What happened? I sent my Kakachu inside him as soon as our names were called. They filled the holes in his palms. Simple, Shino explained. Awkward chuckle. Simple, huh? Next matches Misumi Tsurugi versus Kankuro. Winner, Kankuro. Sakura Haruno versus Temari right arrow. After an intense fight with wind and taijutsu exchanges, Sakura's last attack knocks Temari down, but she collapses herself. Temari eventually stands. Winner, Temari. Tenten vs Inoyamanaka. Winner, Tenten. Shikamaru Nara vs Kintsuchi. Winner, Shikamaru Nara. Kiba and Yuzuka vs. Sai right arrow Kiba forfeits strategically. Winner, Kiba and Yuzuka. Neji Hyuga vs Choji Akamichi. Right arrow Neji uses his precision to defeat Choji. Winner, Neji Hyuga. Hinata Hyuga vs. Dasu Kinuta. Right arrow Hinata, initially nervous, is empowered by Kurenai's support and jumps into the arena, eyes blazing with determination. I showed her something she really didn't want to witness. Kiba blinked, confused, while Shino seemed to get it immediately. Sensei, you're cruel, Shino muttered. I know, Kurenai admitted. Can someone explain this to me? Kiba yelled, exasperated. Simple, Kurenai replied. I let her see Naruto lose his first kiss to that Dasu kid. Loud scream Kiba, who had his back turned toward the arena, glanced at the reactions around him. Quickly, he decided some things were better left unseen. That was supposed to be mine. Another scream, mixed with crying WW winner, Hinata Hyuga please I haven't even, Heiat's voice cracked. Hey, Yugao shouted, glaring. The Jonin stared at her, as did the Genin. It's not for lack of trying. He insisted on waiting until marriage, Hinata murmured, looking away. Came the chorus of agreement. Note, due to the graphic nature of the previous scene, Dasu's actions have been censored for your protection. Next match. Rock Lee vs. Gaara of the Desert. Canon scene plays out. Winner, Gaara of the Desert. As Gaara's sand aimed for Lee, the Jonin intervened. But Gaara's sand quickly shifted target, landing on Naruto, who had jumped down. Naruto stood unmoved as the sand engulfed him, leaving only his head exposed. Die, Gaara shrieked. Sand coffin, sand funeral. The Genin screamed while Jonin tried to break through the attack, only to be pushed back. Naruto, Hiruzen shouted. Yes, Jiji, Naruto replied calmly, scanning the surroundings with a puzzled look. Are you okay? Kurenai asked, concern evident. Oh, yes, I'm fine. Actually, this is kind of warm. Gaara tried the sand funeral again, only to fail. Having trouble performing, eh? Don't worry, it happens to everyone well, not me, but, Naruto said, yawning. Imperial sand funeral. Even more sand surged toward him, trying to crush him, but Naruto barely flinched. You done yet? My legs are asleep. Sand suddenly lunged at Gaara. Run, Temari yelled. She, her brother, and the other Genin scattered from the arena. Naruto calmly stepped out of the sand coffin. Yawn a bit sleepy now. He silently moved behind Gaara. Thwack. A solid hit to Gaara's head shattered his sand armor and knocked him unconscious. No, if you do that, he'll... The ground shook violently. Gaara's eyes shot open. I'm free, Gaara laughed maniacally. Die, smack. Naruto sent him crashing through the floor. You should really calm down. You'll hurt your throat yelling like that, Naruto said nonchalantly. The surrounding ninja were shocked. The younger ones had no clue what had happened. The older ones understood immediately. He's a Jinchuriki. You, Sand Ninja office. Now, yes, sir. Hiruzen settled back in his chair, relief flickering over his face. Attention, everyone, each of you will draw a paper from this box. On it is the name of your next opponent in 1 month, Hiruzen announced. The Genin drew their opponents, Temari even picking one for Gaara. Read your names, left to right. Sai Temari, Shikamaru muttered. Gaara, Sasuke answered. Kenkuro, Kiba called. Hinata, Neji said. Shino, Tenten announced. Good, dismissed. Your Jonin instructors will provide all further details for your next exam, Hiruzen said. The group filed out, leaving the medical wing and the Sand siblings under the Hokkage's special attention. Meanwhile, Naruto wandered around the hot springs wall, looking for Jiraiya. Hiruzen had told him it was time to learn control over the Kyubei's chakra. Perverted giggle, Naruto looked up and saw a white-haired man perched in a tree branch. Oh, you naughty girls, Tilda, he giggled. Excuse me, Naruto called. Not now, boy, busy, Jiraiya replied, scribbling in a notebook. What are you researching? Tree bark, none of your business. Naruto quickly realized the man was peeping at the hot springs. Smirking, he walked away. Moments later, a blonde woman in an orange jumpsuit appeared. Thought that brat would never leave now. Where were we, ladies? Jiraiya's mischief drew the attention of the women. Peeper, one screamed, and chaos ensued. Naruto crouched behind a tree, observing with a grin as Jiraiya was pummeled. About 10 minutes later, the perverted ninja slid to a stop in front of Naruto. Having fun? Naruto asked. I hate you brat, Jiraiya wheezed. Well, Gigi wants to see us, Naruto said, standing. Why should I care what your Gigi wants? Because he's the Hokage and you're in his village, Naruto replied, walking away. Hey, wait up, Jiraiya ran after him. Did you just teleport? No. A bloodline technique? Nope. A mystical fruit allowing you to push people at extreme speeds? Ridiculous. Then how? I threw you. You threw me. Yep. Meanwhile, Luffy struggled against Kuma's power. Back with Naruto and Jiraiya, they finally reached Hiruzen's office. Knock knock, Gigi, found the old pervert, Naruto called. Hey, I'm Jiraiya, the great toad sage. Don't care, Hiruzen interrupted. The two entered. Hiruzen placed a file labeled Uzumaki in front of Jiraiya. This is Naruto's ninja file. Study it and see what you've missed. Jiraiya sighed. I was busy, sensei, I couldn't just drop everything. Damn it, Jiraiya, you've had plenty of time off over the years. The least you could have done is show up for a birthday or two. And say what? Hey Naruto, I couldn't save your parents. Is that it? Sighed Jiraiya, that wasn't your fault. I was there and nothing you could have done would have changed it. Maybe, but I could have been the one to seal the Kyuubi. And you think I wouldn't have done the same? Minato had already sealed the Nine Tails. Kushina was beyond saving. Jiraiya crossed his arms, frowning. Even so, he's better off without me. I'd have complicated things. How would you know? Hiruzen asked. How would I know? Jiraiya echoed. You never tried. You left him to face life alone. His life hasn't been easy. Hiruzen looked out the window. Some feared him, others ignored him. It made him self-reliant in ways no child should be. Even if he doesn't show it, it's shaped who he is. It's also making him stronger, Hiruzen remarked. Laughs, yeah, I noticed that, Jiraiya replied with a grin. Hiruzen smiled knowingly. I saw that your meeting didn't exactly go as planned, Hiruzen said. You could have warned me, Jiraiya said with mock offense. Chuckle, no way. I get too much fun out of Naruto's antics as long as he's not targeting me. Sai figures. For a few moments, they just looked at each other quietly. You want me to help him control the Kyuubi's chakra, don't you? Hiruzen asked cautiously. Nope. Jiraiya's face twisted in surprise. What? I personally don't think he needs the Kyuubi's chakra, but if the intel is accurate, he might need every advantage he can get. So teach him then, if you wouldn't mind. Actually, that was rhetorical, Jiraiya. Sai, of course, sensei. I'll start right away. Good, see that you do, Hiruzen said as Jiraiya walked out. Come on, Blondie, chuckle Hiruzen muttered to himself. Jiraiya led Naruto to a secluded training field and had him sit down. Like this, brat, he instructed, demonstrating a proper meditation stance. Naruto copied him carefully. What now? Close your eyes. Right, Naruto did as told. Now imagine a gate, if you will. This gate leads directly into the Kyuubi's seal, the place you need to reach. Naruto concentrated, picturing a massive gate in his mind. And then, you've got the image. Yeah, clonk. Jiraiya smacked Naruto lightly on the head. Ouch, what was that for? Naruto yelled, rubbing his head. Supposed to knock you out, Jiraiya said, glancing between his fist and Naruto. Why knock me out? To get you inside the seal. And that works how? Either that or wait for you to fall asleep while thinking about the gate. Sai, fine, if you want something done, do it yourself. Naruto shut his eyes, focusing. What are you? Wham, Naruto punched himself in the jaw and collapsed. Does this brat think I'm too weak to knock him out? Jiraiya muttered, but no one answered. Inside the seal. Huh, so this is the inside, Naruto said, looking around at the red walls and the water-covered floor. Feels like a sewer in here. He followed the path laid before him, noticing 3 pipes with different colored water swirling around them. He decided to ask Jiraiya about them later. Eventually, he reached a door. This must be it, he murmured, taking a deep breath and pushing it open. The room revealed a massive gate stretching endlessly in every direction. So my jailer has finally come for a visit, eh? A deep voice rumbled from behind the bars. Are you the Kyuubi? Naruto stepped closer. Chuckle, indeed I am. Gulp, I'm here to learn how to use your chakra. Is that so? Yes, is that okay? Oh, certainly. Really? Of course not, the Kyuubi roared. Its massive arm shot out, slamming where Naruto stood. Foolish human. It tried to pull back but couldn't. Huh. It struggled more to no avail. That wasn't nice, the Kyuubi growled, looking under its arm to see Naruto holding a claw above his head. Release me, human. No, I don't think so. Naruto didn't move an inch. I said release me. The Kyuubi swung another arm, Naruto caught it. And I said no. Naruto jumped back, holding both arms. Bang. The Kyuubi's head slammed into the bars repeatedly. Grown had enough. Never. Bang, bang, bang. After several hits, Naruto paused. Had enough now. Grown, yeah, can you let go? Sure. Naruto released the arms. Thanks, now die. The Kyuubi tried again, but Naruto caught it and slammed it repeatedly. All right, I've had enough. Naruto finally stopped. Are you sure? I could go all day. Grown, I'm sure, but really sure. Really, really sure. Fine. Naruto let go and the Kyuubi withdrew. So about that chakra. Grown, fine. You can use it, just go away until my head stops ringing. Deal. Naruto pondered for a moment. How do I get out? The same way you came in. Got it. Naruto punched himself and disappeared from sight. Grown, why couldn't he just be an annoying loud idiot instead of a strong, loud, annoying idiot? Outside the seal. Naruto awoke to see Jiraiya standing over him. Don't worry if it didn't work, I didn't expect it to. No, it did, it agreed. Really, no normal human could get the Kyuubi to agree to something so one-sided. I said it agreed. Only a complete psycho would manage that. Hello. I said it agreed. All right, I hear you, Jiraiya muttered. So what now? Honestly, helping you access the Kyuubi's chakra was all I planned. You don't have anything else. Well, how about signing a summoning contract? Naruto grinned brightly. Sounds fun. Meanwhile, in the cage meeting room. Hello, Hiruzen, how's the day treating you? The fourth Raikage greeted as he entered. Ah, I'm well, thank you, and yourself? Hiruzen gestured for him to sit. Better now that I have some sake to sip. Lifted his jug proudly. Cheers, he drank heartily. Chuckle, relaxing back in Kumo, are we? Hiruzen teased. What? I hardly ever get downtime here. It's always work, work, punch my brother, more work. I understand, same here, Hiruzen replied. Sigh, when I became Hokage, I never imagined I'd spend so much time buried in paperwork. Laugh, the cage's curse. Paperwork? Anoki floated in. If I'd known we'd be buried in paperwork, I'd have stayed home, he muttered. Hiruzen greeted him warmly. And you're back. Better than I expected, but you didn't send anyone to escort me, Anoki said, glaring slightly. Hiruzen chuckled. You need someone to walk you everywhere now, Anoki. Anoki's face turned red, but he smirked back. And how's retirement treating you, Hiruzen? Just fine, and your arthritis? Only hurts in winter. And kidney stones? As the conversation continued, Rasa arrived. He noticed A's sake jug. Mind if I try a sip? I'm already feeling the headache from these two. Narrowed his eyes briefly, then smiled. Of course. Darui, pour the Kazekage a glass. Darui handed Rasa a small glass. Rasa accepted it, pouring it himself from A's jug, and they drank in silence. Gecko Hate entered, interrupting the chatter. Cough, Hokage-sama, it's time. 3 of the cage accepted this calmly, but one was visibly shocked. No, Baki assured me he was dead. Did Baki lie? Hiruzen ignored the suspicion and stood. Shall we begin? Groan, let's get it over with. I can already imagine the mountain of paperwork waiting at home, Anoki muttered. The 4 cage went out to the balcony. The stadium was packed with civilians and ninjas from all over. Attention, everyone, Hiruzen called, and the crowd quieted. Today, we gather to watch talented ninjas compete for the chance to be promoted to Chunin. Cheers erupted, then quieted. Unfortunately, 2 of my fellow cage have no ninjas in this round, but they've come to enjoy the festivities anyway. A round of applause for my fellow cage. A, 4th Raikage of Kumagakyur. Applause, A raised his jug. Rasa, 4th Kazekage of Sunagakyur. Applause, Rasa bowed. Anoki, 3rd Tsuchikage of Iwagakyur. Applause, Anoki glared but raised his hand. And I am Hiruzen, 3rd Hokage of Konohagakure. Cheers erupted. Yes, settle down. Let the exam begin. Baki was overseeing the arriving sand and sound ninja, making sure they were ready to infiltrate the village. Most had reached the outskirts the night before, but he was still waiting on nearly a third of their forces. Where are they? We can't start without everyone here. Lord Rasa is counting on us. He moved through the makeshift camps that each attacking village had set up, questioning commanders and searching for the missing units. I thought they were already here, came the uncertain reply. Frustrated, Baki decided to look for them himself. He circled the perimeter of the village, suspecting that perhaps the troops had set up camp in the wrong location. And he was right. His stomach churned at the scene before him. The other campsite was nothing short of a massacre. Blood and debris were scattered across the ground, and not a single ninja appeared to have survived. Baki sifted through the wreckage, desperate for a survivor to explain what monstrosity had struck them down. "Yo!" A cheerful voice called from behind. Baki spun around to see Naruto standing there, a grin plastered on his face. "What is that brat doing here?" Baki muttered, only for Naruto to answer before he could. "You won't find anyone left here. They were either captured or, well, taken out last night," Naruto said casually, still smiling. Baki's eyes darted around, expecting more ninjas, but saw none. "I honestly don't know what you're talking about. I was just out for a stroll when I happened upon this place," he lied, though Naruto's next words made it clear he wasn't buying it. "Funny, that's exactly how I found it. I was just walking along, minding my own business, and came across this enemy camp. So I took care of them." Naruto's smile widened, almost gleeful. "You took care of an entire enemy camp while walking." Baki's voice barely carried his disbelief. The kid was claiming to have wiped out over 1,000 ninjas, alone. "I do enjoy an energetic walk," Naruto said nonchalantly. "Right." Baki's hand drifted toward the hidden kunai in his sleeve. He hated the thought, but duty came first. "What's that for?" Another voice interrupted. Turning, Baki saw a second Naruto, identical to the first. "What th?" Smack. The first Naruto's hand connected with Baki's face, knocking him unconscious. "Why did we even bother punching him?" the second Naruto asked casually. "Sai, because Temari-chan said we couldn't hurt him if we wanted her cooperation," the first Naruto replied. "Oh, got it." The second Naruto slapped his hand against his palm. "Wanna grab some ramen? We've got time to kill. You read my mind, it's like we're basically the same person." "You are literally my clone," the first Naruto pointed out. "What's your point?" "Just imagining what Yugao-sensei must have dealt with. Nah, I'm not that bad." Grabbing Baki by the leg, Naruto dragged him along. "We should drop him off at Temari-chan's place first." "Nah," came the immediate rejection as they instead headed for Ikaraku. At the ramen stand, Naruto set Baki on a stool, folding his arms as a makeshift pillow. "Hello, Naruto, what'll it be for you too?" Tyuchai looked from Naruto to his clone, confused. "It's ninja business, old man," Naruto replied casually. "Ah, makes sense. And your friend?" Tyuchai gestured to Baki. "Baki had a long night." "Oh, drinking?" "Something like that," Naruto agreed with a grin. "Bet he's going to have a headache." "Probably," Naruto chuckled. Meanwhile, Hiruzen and the other cage watched Shikamaru and Temari sparring. "Your daughter is talented, Rasa. You must be proud," Hiruzen commented. "I am," Rasa smiled, though anxiety gnawed at him. The invasion was beginning as Gaara's match started. "Where is Baki?" Rasa demanded. Baki, meanwhile, was being dragged through Konoha by Naruto. "Now I need to handle the other camp. You drop him off at Temari's," Naruto instructed. "Why me?" the clone whined. "Because you're the clone," Naruto replied. "One day I'll fight for clone rights." Yeah, just go," Naruto cut him off. Leaping into the air, his clone gave a quick gesture before following. Naruto appeared in the center of the enemy camp. "Attention, invading ninjas. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, and I advise surrendering before things escalate." The ninjas glanced at each other, uncertain. "Kill him," one leader shouted. "Wait," Naruto raised his hands. "What now, brat?" "I have a question, can I ask?" "Sai, fine, ask your question," the sand leader muttered. "What's your health plan like?" "Excuse me, your coverage in case of injuries on duty. You have proper insurance, right?" "No, it's awful." "Same here," another ninja agreed. "Well, that's unfortunate," Naruto said before vanishing with a burst of speed. The attacking ninjas moved in slow motion from Naruto's perspective. He ducked a wind jutsu, lifted a ninja by his underwear, and flung him into the air. Another sword-wielding ninja got a quick bop on the head. Collaboration, jutsu users were suspended and pointed at each other. Leaders were dispatched with single strikes. Over 100 ninjas exploded or were incapacitated. "It's a monster," a surviving ninja yelled. Naruto flicked his forehead, sending him tumbling into others. Attempts to flee were futile, and the ninja fought until the bitter end. Within what felt like 2 hours to Naruto, but only 10 minutes in reality, The invading army was neutralized. Many sound ninja survived, though most were injured, and their forces were heavily diminished. Naruto paused in the center, wiping blood from his hands. "Sorry, sound ninja. Gigi said I couldn't leave enemies alive," he muttered. Boom, smoke rose from the village. "Duty calls," Naruto vanished. As Gaara and Sasuke's match began, Rasa and his elite Jonin, Orochimaru in disguise, sprang into action, grabbing Hiruzen and placing him atop the stadium roof. The Sound Four erected a barrier to prevent interference. "Now Gaara," Rasa shouted. Silence met him. "I decline," Gaara replied. "What? I am your Kazekage, obey." "Sigh, fine." Gaara performed hand seals, summoning the One-Tail from his gourd. "Shukaku. Destroy our enemies," Rasa commanded. "I decline," Shukaku replied, seated in the arena. Rasa fumed while the crowd and ninja stood uncertain. Hiruzen eyed Orochimaru, noting how the fight would have been smoother alone. "Get civilians out," Shikaku ordered, and they began evacuation. Rasa looked to A and Anoki. "You helping?" "Nope," they said, raising their sake glasses. Rasa turned back to Hiruzen and Orochimaru, preparing for the next stage of the chaos. "I'm busy. It'll only take a second." "Busy?" "Orochimaru, wait." "Why? I need to ask Hiruzen something." Orochimaru paused mid-attack, leaning lazily on his sword. "Fine, ask away." Hiruzen took advantage of the moment and smacked Orochimaru across the face with his staff. "All right, now you can ask. Why is Hate Gecko still alive? I was told he had died," Rasa questioned. Knock, knock, Rasa's attention was drawn to someone tapping on the barrier. Turning, he saw Naruto standing there, grinning. "Hi!" Naruto waved enthusiastically, and Rasa waved back, confused but curious. Naruto tried to speak through the barrier, but the noise of Hiruzen and Orochimaru clashing made it impossible for Rasa to hear him. "I can't hear you," Rasa shouted. Naruto cupped his hands around his mouth and yelled, still futile. "Still nothing." Naruto's expression darkened. In a burst of strength, he swung his fist and shattered the barrier like glass. Then, stepping forward, he cupped his hands and screamed directly at Rasa. "ISAVEDHIM, you hearing-impaired idiot!" Rasa staggered, ears ringing. The other cage's faces mirrored his shock. That blonde kid had just destroyed a massive barrier. With one punch, Naruto glanced over Rasa's shoulder, noticing Hiruzen frozen and Orochimaru screaming in pain, though they were far apart. Shoving Rasa aside, Naruto ran to Hiruzen. "Gigi, are you okay?" Naruto cried. Hiruzen spat blood but refused to lower his arms or drop the scroll clenched in his teeth. He summoned the Shinigami. That was the only way to defeat the previous Hokage and deal with Orochimaru, Enma explained, returning to his natural form. "What will happen to him?" Naruto asked anxiously. "Once the deal is done, it will consume Hiruzen's soul." "What? No way!" Naruto scanned the area desperately, searching for the Shinigami. "Where are you, Gigi?" The distraction allowed the four to grab Orochimaru and escape. "Stop! Him!" Naruto, Hiruzen whispered as he collapsed to his knees, eyes fixed high above Naruto. "So, that's where you are," Naruto muttered. Hiruzen wanted to warn Naruto not to provoke the Shinigami, but he was too weak to act. "Do you really think I'll let you take my Gigi?" Naruto bellowed at the towering figure. "You have no choice, mortal. He is mine, and no one can stop me." The Shinigami's voice rumbled, revealing its form. Naruto narrowed his eyes, unafraid. "Bet your life on that," he challenged. "Chuckle, you cannot kill me, mortal, but it would amuse me to watch you try." Naruto's eyes glowed red, pupils slit, hair spiking wildly as power surged through him. "Then you'll love this," Naruto said, drawing back his fist. The Shinigami observed the boy, no fear, only absolute confidence, and somehow it found itself believing the threat. As Naruto's fist launched forward, the Shinigami's thoughts raced. "If this hits me, I will truly vanish." "Very well, mortal. The old man lives for now," it finally relented, glaring at Hiruzen. "Summon me again, and your soul is mine. Do you understand?" "Crystal clear," Hiruzen wheezed. The Shinigami vanished, leaving Naruto bewildered and everyone else shaken. "So," Naruto turned to Hiruzen. "Is the invasion over?" Chuckle groaned, "Yes. Now please get me to the hospital," Hiruzen sighed. "You got it, Gigi," Naruto replied, rushing to help. Temari paced inside her brother's hospital room. Gaara had collapsed after the One-Tail returned to its seal and hadn't woken up since. Suspicion gnawed at her, though the faint smile on his face kept her from overreacting. That blasted blonde must have caused this, she muttered. Nothing's gone smoothly since the preliminaries ended. Her mind drifted back to the moment everything spiraled out of control. Flashback, Goira had been carried to Konoha's hospital after that blonde had knocked him out. He'd been unconscious for weeks. And now, Hiruzen had come to see them. What else could possibly go wrong? Baki had apparently killed a leaf ninja after their recent meeting to prevent him from revealing their plans. What else could go wrong? She wondered aloud. Greetings, San Nin, Hiruzen said as he and Naruto entered the room. Hello, Hokage-sama, Temari greeted, nudging Kankuro to bow as well. No need for formalities. After all, we're allies, right? Hiruzen's smile was polite, if not slightly forced. Nervous laugh, of course, Hokage-sama, Temari replied. Good mind if I ask a hypothetical question? Hiruzen inquired. Sure, Temari answered. First, may I sit? He nodded toward the chair. Temari consented. Thanks, these old bones of mine, anyway, hypothetically, what would your father do if one of his allies plotted against him? Hiruzen mused, lighting his pipe. I'm not sure, Temari squeaked. Kankuro subtly palmed a kunai. Chuckle, seems I'm not the only one with hearing troubles, Naruto. Did you say something, Jiji? Naruto tilted his head, hiding his smirk. You've been hanging around Kakashi again, haven't you? Hiruzen's eye twitched. I have no idea what you mean, Jiji, Naruto replied, pulling out a book. Sai, never mind, Hiruzen muttered. Turning back to the San Nin, Hiruzen repeated, What would your father do if an ally betrayed him? Gulp. Kankuro stiffened, Temari stepping protectively in front of Gaara. Hypothetically, he would ensure the betrayer is punished, Hiruzen concluded, nodding. Chuckle, I suppose one cannot argue with wisdom, he said, standing. Naruto, make sure they're comfortable. He left the room, leaving Naruto alone with the Sand siblings. Gladly, Jiji, Naruto said, closing his book. What did he mean, Blondie? Temari asked. Nothing to worry about, Temari-chan, Naruto replied, walking to Gaara. So he's a Jinchuriki, huh? That doesn't make him less human, Temari shouted. Naruto smiled at her. Glad you agree, Temari-chan. Kankuro almost dropped his kunai while Temari stepped back. What? Are you okay? You're stuttering a lot, reminds me of Hinata-chan. I'm fine, Temari blushed. Good, Naruto turned to Gaara. I've never met another Jinchuriki but his eyes. The one tail, Temari muttered. Naruto jumped back as a voice suddenly spoke inside his head. Are you okay? Kankuro asked. Fine, just fine, Naruto whispered. Crazy blondes everywhere. Ow, Temari smacked Kankuro. I'm blonde, remember. Yes, I know, Naruto ignored them, speaking with the Kyuubi. How are you talking to me, and what do you mean? Yawned, second question first, I don't know. Maybe those cracks you made in the barrier are helping you. Is that good or bad? Depends. Can you use this to attack the village? No, not with the fourth seal, I'm bound to you until death. Wait, we're married? What, no? I'm too young, and besides, giant foxes don't count. Then why bound until death? Not everything means marriage, and I don't want to annoy that little Hyuga, she's scary. Scary, Hinata. The nicest person I know. Kyuubi, biwahahaha, what's so funny? Nothing, what were we talking about again? Gaara's eyes, the one tail is insane, keeps hosts awake, very bad for him. Can I help? Sure, if you go inside the seal. That's it. Yes. It will let him sleep. Temari-chan, what now, Blondie, done staring at my brother? Yeah, what if I could help him sleep? What? Don't lie, Naruto yelled. Temari grabbed her fan, Kankuro ready to kunai. What if I can? Then your family owes me. Naruto smiled. I'm busy. It won't take long. Busy. Orochimaru, hold on a second. Why? I need to ask Hiruzen something. Orochimaru paused mid-attack, resting against his sword. Fine, ask away. Hiruzen used the opportunity to smack Orochimaru across the face with his staff. All right, now you can ask. Why is Hayate Gecko still alive? I was told he had died. Rasa questioned. Knock, knock. Someone was at the barrier. Rasa turned and saw Naruto standing there with a cheerful grin. Hi! Naruto waved enthusiastically, and Rasa hesitated for a moment before waving back. Naruto tried shouting through the barrier, but the sounds of Hiruzen and Orochimaru's fight made it impossible for Rasa to hear him. I can't hear you, Rasa yelled. Naruto cupped his hands around his mouth and yelled again, but still no luck. Still can't hear me, Naruto's expression darkened. He drew back and slammed his fist into the barrier. It shattered like glass. Calmly, Naruto approached Rasa, cupped his hands, and yelled, "ISAVEDHIM, you deaf idiot." Rasa's ears rang, and his face, and the other cage's faces, frozen in shock. This blonde kid had just destroyed a massive barrier with one punch. Naruto glanced past Rasa and noticed Hiruzen standing stiffly while Orochimaru screamed in pain, though they weren't even close. Slapping Rasa aside, Naruto ran to Hiruzen. "Jiji, what's happening?" Hiruzen coughed up blood but held the scroll in his mouth and refused to drop his guard. He summoned the Shinigami. "That's the only way to defeat the previous Hokage and neutralize Orochimaru," Enma replied, now back in his natural form. "What's going to happen to him?" Naruto cried. "Once it's done with its task, it will consume Hiruzen's soul." "The hell it will." Naruto scanned the skies for the Shinigami. "Where are you, Jiji?" Four used the distraction to grab Orochimaru and escape. "Get him." "Naruto." Hiruzen fell to his knees, looking far above Naruto's head. "So, you're here, huh?" Naruto turned, eyes blazing, staring at the Shinigami. Hiruzen wanted to stop him, to warn him, but he was too weak. "Do you really think I'll let you take my Jiji?" Naruto roared. "You act as if you have a choice, mortal. I claim him and nothing you or anyone can do will stop me." The Shinigami appeared fully before Naruto, radiating a terrifying aura. "Are you willing to bet your life on that?" Chuckle. "You cannot kill me, mortal. Though I would enjoy watching you try." Naruto's eyes glowed red, pupils slit, hair wild and standing on end. "Then you're going to love this." Naruto pulled back his fist. The Shinigami saw in the boy's eyes, or rather, the absence of fear. He was confident he could kill it. Slowly, the Shinigami began to believe it might be true. The fist swung forward, and the Shinigami realized. If it was hit, it would vanish. "Very well, mortal, the old man may live for now." The Shinigami glared at Hiruzen. "If summoned again, your soul will be mine, do you understand? Crystal clear." "Good." It vanished, leaving Naruto confused and everyone else stunned. "So," Naruto turned to Hiruzen. "Is the invasion over?" Groan, "Yes, now take me to the hospital." "You got it, Jiji." Temari paced in her brother's hospital room. Gaara had fainted after the One-Tail returned to its seal and hadn't woken since. She suspected the Konoha doctors, but the faint smile on his face kept her from acting rashly. That blasted blonde kid probably caused this somehow. Nothing's gone right since the preliminaries ended. She recalled the moment everything spiraled out of control, wrecking their father's plans. Flashback: Gaara had been rushed to Konoha's hospital after that blonde idiot knocked him out. He'd been unconscious for over 2 weeks. Now, the Hokage was coming to visit. What else could possibly go wrong? Baki had even killed a leaf ninja to prevent him from alerting the Hokage about their plans. And now Hiruzen showed up only hours later. What else could go wrong?" Temari muttered. "Greetings, San-nin," Hiruzen said, entering Gaara's room with Naruto. "Hello, Hokage-sama." Temari bowed, elbowing Kankuro to do the same. "No need for formalities now, we're allies, right?" Hiruzen smiled, though it was clearly forced. "Nervous laugh, of course, Hokage-sama," Temari replied. "See. I knew it, now mind if I ask a hypothetical question?" Sure. First, mind if I sit?" Temari nodded, and Hiruzen eased into a chair. Naruto stood beside him. That's better. Now, what would your father do if an ally plotted against him?" Hiruzen lit his pipe, leaning back. I'm sorry," Temari stammered. Kankuro palmed a hidden kunai. Chuckle, "Seems like I'm not the only one with hearing problems, Naruto?" Did you say something, Jiji?" Naruto tilted his head. "You've been spending time with Kakashi again, haven't you?" Naruto pulled a book from his pouch. "I have no idea what you mean, Jiji." Hiruzen's eye twitched. Never mind." He turned back to Temari and Kankuro, who looked confused. "Let me rephrase, what would your father do if an ally betrayed him?" Gulp. Kankuro stood, and Temari stepped protectively in front of Gaara. "Why do you ask, Hokage-sama?" "As I said, it's hypothetical," Hiruzen smiled. "He'd likely take steps to punish the traitor." "Yes, that makes sense," Temari nodded. Chuckle, "Well, I won't argue with your father on that." Hiruzen stood. "Naruto, make sure they're comfortable," he said, leaving the room. "Gladly, Jiji." Naruto closed his book and faced Temari and Kankuro. "What does he mean, Blondie?" Temari asked. "Don't worry, Temari-chan," Naruto moved past her to the sleeping Gaara. So, he's the Jinchuriki of the One Tail, huh? What of it? Just because he has that thing inside doesn't make him less human, Temari shouted. Naruto simply smiled. I'm glad you agree, Temari-chan. Kankuro dropped a kunai in surprise. Temari stepped back. What? Are you okay? You're stuttering a lot. Reminds me of Hinata-chan, Naruto teased. I'm fine, she blushed. Oh, good, Naruto turned to Gaara. I've never met another Jinchuriki, but what's wrong with his eyes? It's the one tail, Temari said. Naruto jumped back as a voice echoed in his head. Hey, are you okay? Kankuro asked. Yeah, I'm fine, Naruto muttered. Sigh crazy blondes, everywhere smack. Owa, Temari smacked Kankuro on the head. I'm blonde, remember? Yes, I know, smack. Ouch, Naruto ignored them, focusing on the Kyuubi. What do you mean? How are you talking to me? Yawn's second question first, I dunno, the Kyuubi replied. How can you not know? You're loud, those cracks in your door are affecting you. Is that bad or good? Depends on what you mean by bad. Could we use it to escape and fight the village? Not with the fourth seal. I'm bound to you until death. Wait, we're married. What? No, I'm too young for that and to a giant fox. I said we're not married. Where'd you get that idea? But you said we were bound until death. Sigh, not necessarily. And I don't want to anger that little Hyuga. She's terrifying. Why would that upset Hinata-chan? She's the nicest person I know. Kyuubi, biwahahaha. What's funny? Chuckle, nothing. What were we talking about? Gaara's eyes. Right, the one tail is insane. It prevents its hosts from sleeping. That's awful, can I help him? Sure, if you're willing to enter the seal. That's it, pretty much. Will it help him sleep? Most definitely. Hey, Temari-chan, what now, Blondie? Done staring at my brother? Yeah, but what if I could help him sleep? I don't know what you mean. Don't lie, Naruto shouted. Temari grabbed her fan, Kankuro readied his kunai. You can't help him. What if I can? What then? Okay, if you actually can, my family will owe you one. Naruto grinned. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. He turned his attention back to Gaara. What do you think, Kyuubi? I dunno, maybe fist bump him or something. And that's supposed to help how? Well, it's either that or fist bump it is. Naruto quickly tapped his fist against Gaara's, and instantly a powerful tug seized his mind. Don't resist it, brat. Got it! Naruto stopped struggling, letting the sensation wash over him, fading his consciousness. Temari was observing from nearby, her patience wearing thin. If this brat's trying to flirt with my brother, I swear I'll end him. She paused, thinking. Well, unless that little Hyuga brat beats me to it. Inside the seal, Naruto found himself in the midst of a vast desert. In the distance, a massive shadow loomed. So this is Gaara's seal, huh? Yep. Naruto felt weight on his shoulder. Glancing up, he found a tiny Kyuubi perched there. You're tiny. Kyuubi stuck a finger in each ear, glaring. Why are you yelling when I'm right here? Because, furball, you're sitting on my shoulder. All right, point taken. And how are you even here? I'm the reason you're here. Had to come too. Why though? Plot. What? Nothing, moving on. You can't just, oh look, here comes the one tail. Really? Naruto scrambled to spot it. Thank goodness he's got the attention span of, well, I was going to say a goldfish, but that insult fish everywhere. Minutes later, the ground trembled and sand erupted skyward, forming the one tail. What do you want, Tilda? Sigh, sorry, brat. Could we have a moment to talk? Sure, Naruto replied, stepping away and leaving Kyuubi and the one tail alone. The two beasts watched him go, then Shukaku lay down to converse with Kyuubi. What are you doing here, Kurama? Shukaku asked. Visiting my little sister, can't a guy do that? Spare me the lies. Tell the truth, Kurama's patience thinned. Quiet, Shukaku, I was about to. Fine, but we're listening. Shukaku's impatience showed. I came to warn you, Shukaku. About? Kurama hopped onto Shukaku's nose, leaning close. See that brat over there? The blonde one who's been a headache? Exactly. And I'm giving you a proper older brother warning. Yes, get on with it. All right, a monster follows him. Somewhere a white-eyed girl sneezed. A monster? Yes, a horrifying one. What's it called? And why fear it? This monster, it's the white-eyed devourer. Obsessed with that brat and fiercely protective, any girl who touches him is at risk. The white-eyed devourer, huh? She sneezed again. You don't believe me? Not really. Shukaku deadpanned. Fine, see it for yourself. Kurama pressed his forehead to Shukaku's, projecting his imagined memories. 5 minutes later, Shukaku vomited a massive amount of sand. "What the hell was that thing?" she screamed. That was the white-eyed devourer. It was hideous. Those eyes, the teeth that smile shudders, will stay out of its way. A thought struck Shukaku. "Does the human know of it?" she whispered. "No, only I do because of my previous host. They hide their true nature unless threatened, mostly docile, unless their mate's safety is in danger." Kurama nodded. "We see any way to avoid this shivers creature?" She sneezed violently, headbutting her father. "Let your host rest, and for our father's sake, don't attack the brat." "Understood." "Thank you, Kurama. Don't mention it seriously." Kurama hopped off, rejoining Naruto. "All done." "Yep," Naruto said, walking toward the One-Tail. "Hey, One-Tail." Hearing his voice, Shukaku dove under the sand. "Huh?" Naruto blinked. "I came to ask if you'd let Gaara rest." "What? Sure, just leave." "Rude," Kyuubi chuckled. "I think that's enough, Naruto, time to go. But I wanted to fist bump it too." "No thanks." "Don't touch me." "Fine, no need to be rude." Kyuubi pulled them back out of Shukaku's seal. "Damn Kurama, using that monster to intimidate us. Well, we're on to you." Not scared, just avoiding him forever. Back to reality. Temari didn't know exactly what had happened, but after Naruto fist-bumped Gaara, the One-Tail had somehow agreed to let him sleep. When Gaara woke the next day, he actually smiled. Dark circles faded, and he'd been sleeping soundly ever since. Temari decided to repay the blonde brat's favor by telling him of her father's plans to attack Konoha. He took her to the Hokage to relay her story. "I'm glad you came forward. Without this, things could have been strained." "I understand, Hokage-sama. You may leave now, Temari-san." "I need a word with Naruto." Yes. A favor, perhaps. I'll hear it, agreeing is another matter." Temari hesitated. "Spare Baki-sensei and my family. Your father included." "Scoff, he's the Kazekage, not really my father but still family. I'll avoid harming any of them if possible." "Thank you, Hokage-sama." She bowed and left. Hiruzen turned to Naruto. "Spare as many sand ninja as possible. Allies must remain strong, but the Kazekage is fair game." "But didn't you promise not to kill him? If he attacks, I give you permission to strike back. Otherwise, don't worry." "I understand, Jiji." Grown, Temari glanced at Gaara. "Gaara, you're awake." She hugged him, and he hugged back instinctively. "You're warm," he murmured. Temari pulled back slightly. "Are you okay?" "Fine, I just slept really well." "Good." She rubbed his head as he drifted back asleep. "Maybe the blonde brat isn't so bad." Meanwhile, Naruto visited Hiruzen at the hospital. Jiraiya burst in. "Sensei, Sai, what now, Jiraiya?" "I found her." "Oh, good, you can leave immediately then." "Wait, you too, Sensei." "Yes, you and Naruto, Jiraiya, retrieve my replacement. But I don't want to go with the pervert." "I didn't ask, Naruto. My last act as Hokage is this order." "Last act, but the doctors said you're fine." "I'm old, Naruto. Better to trust you than let Danzo take my place." Sai, all right, Jiji. Naruto glanced at Jiraiya. "Where is she?" "In Tanzaku town." 2 days into their journey, Naruto walked alongside Jiraiya, resisting the urge to just teleport to Tanzaku town. "You can't rush this, Naruto," Jiraiya said during dinner prep. "But it's so boring," Naruto pouted. Chuckle. "I know." Jiraiya stirred the soup he'd been preparing for an hour. "Why can't I just grab this Tsunade lady and jump back?" Jiraiya fell off his makeshift stump laughing. "Why are you laughing? You think you could grab the princess without losing an arm? Is she that strong?" Naruto's concern made Jiraiya stop laughing for a moment. "Have you truly never heard of her?" "Nope," shakes head. "What did they teach you at the academy?" "She's the first Hokage's granddaughter." The first Hokage's granddaughter?" Naruto's jaw dropped. "Yes, but her fame isn't just her lineage." Jiraiya noticed Naruto's full attention. "What's she famous for?" Jiraiya sipped his soup, smacked his lips, then said, "Being a sucker." Naruto nearly fell off his stump. "A what?" "A sucker." Naruto's face flushed. "Not that kind." Jiraiya laughed. "Oh, I see." Naruto blinked. "She's a terrible gambler. Will lose every bet she makes." Tsunade had just placed an insanely high bet in blackjack. She sneezed, causing the 7 the dealer was about to take to fly away. A 10 was drawn instead, giving her 24. "Sorry, ma'am, but you busted." "Damn it!" Tsunade yelled, smashing her sake jug onto the table. 2 men in black suits came rushing over. Jiraiya gave Naruto a pointed look, eyes sparkling. I can agree with that, but don't let her hear you say it, Jiraiya warned. Why not? Naruto tilted his head, curious. She's not only incredibly strong, she has a temper to match. How strong? Jiraiya shrugged casually. Probably stronger than you if she really wanted to be. Naruto's eyes lit up with excitement. Really? You think she'd spar with me? Maybe, why? Do you know how long it's been since I actually got to hit someone? Jiraiya blinked, confused. Didn't you just stop an invasion? Scoff, I don't mean like that. Then what do you mean? I want a real fight. Someone who can match me blow for blow, someone I can go all out against without holding back. Naruto jumped up, full of energy. Jiraiya studied him quietly. Why? Because I'm bored. Naruto flopped back onto his stump. I watch everyone else, Sasuke, Kiba, Choji, heck, even Shikamaru, they enjoy fighting. They feel the thrill, the fear of losing, but I don't. Jiraiya stroked his beard. Any idea why that is? Naruto sighed, rubbing the back of his head. Battles always end too quickly. My classmates can't keep up since I was 9, and even most Jonin struggle. I've fought some, yes, but… Not bad, brat, Jiraiya said with a smile, walking over and placing a hand on Naruto's head. But remember, Naruto, he said gently, fighting isn't the only way to have fun. Oh, I know, I also pull pranks. Chuckle, that's good. Who do you prank with? Naruto's expression fell. Well, usually alone. Jiraiya crouched to meet his gaze. Why? No one really wants to hang out with me, they always leave me out. Ever ask why? No, I'm usually training, so I don't see them much. I see. All right, here's the plan. When we get back to the village, you ask the rookies to hang out with you. In return, I'll teach you a new jutsu. Deal? Deal! Naruto and Jiraiya had just settled into a small inn in Tanzaku town when Jiraiya disappeared, claiming he had research to do. Naruto was left alone in the room. Stupid old pervert, couldn't even give me something to do while I wait. Ding-dong, Naruto's ears perked up. A grin spread across his face. Maybe he did leave me something after all. He opened the door, but suddenly the room shifted. He found himself staring at a massive blue man carrying a sword, and beside him, an Uchiha. I thought you were going to put him in a genjutsu Itachi, the blue man asked. He should have been. Naruto glanced between them. Itachi, as in Itachi Uchiha, the blue man crouched slightly. And you, brat, do you know who I am? Nope. Sai, you need to come with us, Uzumaki, Itachi said. Why? Naruto tilted his head. Because you have the Kyuubi, Kasame replied. No, I don't. The only thing inside me is a giant rabbit. Naruto spread his arms like floppy ears, emphasizing the point. They exchanged a confused glance. A rabbit, huh? Kasame muttered. Yep. Naruto nodded seriously. Itachi, are you sure? Kasame tapped his temple. Maybe he's lying, Itachi muttered, shaking his head. Nah, he seems trustworthy. Naruto slammed the door before they could argue. Kasame, yeah, there are only 9-tailed beasts. Meanwhile, Naruto wandered through Tanzaku town, searching for Jiraiya. If I were an old pervert, where would I be? Probably the brothel, Naruto muttered to himself, though he didn't really want to go in. Instead, he spotted 2 women, a blonde in a green haori and a shorter black-haired woman in a kimono. Tsunade-sama, we're out of money. That's why I need to do this, the blonde replied. Not without money to bet, you can't, Naruto interrupted, pulling out 50,000 ryo from his frog wallet. Oh ho Tilda, I'm not opposed to a brat's money, she said. All right, here's the bet, if you can move me, the money's yours. Naruto squared his shoulders. That's it. That's it. Oh, and you also have to return to Konoha with me. No Tilda, I refuse, she turned away. Afraid, Naruto challenged. Scoff, of course not, I just don't go back to such a place. Wow, the legendary Tsunade is a coward, she stopped. Take that back, brat. I walked away from an easy bet with a simple genin, Naruto smirked. Fine, brat, you want a game? Of course, the challenge began. Tsunade flexed her finger, smacked Naruto on the forehead, but he didn't budge. She tried a punch to the stomach, still nothing. Finally, she threw everything she had into a punch to his face. Bang! The walls crumbled, the ground shattered, but Naruto barely moved, just wiping blood from his mouth and grinning. That was amazing, he cheered. Tsunade and Shizune were stunned. She had just unleashed her full strength, and he had barely flinched. Naruto then grabbed Tsunade, swung her over his shoulder, and launched her high into the sky. Shizune gasped, holding onto her necklace as Naruto strode forward. I'm going to get Tsunade, then find the old pervert. Itachi and Kasame, who had been watching, blinked in disbelief. He really did that? Kasame asked. Yes, Itachi replied, and I have no words. HNN Itachi vanished in a flock of crows, leaving Kasame behind. Awa, embarrassed Tilda Kasame muttered, shaking his head.